afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. This Fan Sports Update is sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy's office at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP. That's 1-800-MORE-SLEEP or online at sleepbettercolumbus.com. Ohio State is on bye this week before starting Big Ten play at Washington September 27th. Hear head coach Ryan Day's press conference next on The Fan. In the NFL, Cincinnati Bengals are signing quarterbacks Mike White and Sean Clifford to the practice squad, with Joe Burrow sidelined for at least 3 months due to toe surgery. White has 7 career starts in 4 years with the Jets, Dolphins, and Bills, while Clifford has played in 2 career games with the Packers. Major League Baseball tonight, Cleveland's at Detroit at 6:40, Cincinnati's at St. Louis at 7:45. Minor League Baseball, Columbus Clippers welcome Omaha to Huntington Park at 6:15. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
It's time to add some spice to your nooner. Nooner Funny. This is the place where big-time guests, bold opinions, and little cute doggies come together. This is Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Pella Columbus, the #1 rated windows and doors in Columbus.
All right, welcome aboard, Rothman and Ice. No real tap dance Tuesday. We'll take you right to the Woody Hayes, but quickly we'll have Ryan Day, and we expect both coordinators today. So we'll try to navigate that for you. We'll take you right over to Ohio State.
This is a live feed of Ryan Day's weekly press conference, sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
Because ultimately, it's always the coach's responsibility.
Do you have any update on Bennett Christian? Was out last week?
Yeah, he should have a full week of practice this week and be ready to have a full game week next week.
Right. A couple of times in the first 3 weeks, Tegra's come out, had the penalties on Saturday. How close is Ethan to making that a more even split or pulling ahead right there? What's the evaluation of that guard right now?
Well, I thought Tegra did some better things on Saturday, but he did have the 2 penalties. So, we want, really high level of play from everybody. And it's good to have competition and know that, there's guys that, are fighting to get on the field. Tegra's played a lot of football around here. I do think he got better in this past game, but we all know what the expectation is. So we're going to keep pushing him to get to that level.
Your defensive tackle, you guys started Taiwan Malone over Edric Houston. Just what went into that decision, and kind of where do you see those 2 guys right now?
Yeah, as you saw, we rolled. We'll continue to roll guys. But I thought Taiwan took a step in the game. I thought he played well. He still has some things that I know Coach Johnson's working on to get him to play better. But he did some nice things in the game. I think he graded out. So that's big. As you know, we need that position, to continue to build depth and play at a high level. So, but Edric still played and Will still played. So we didn't have a ton of snaps on defense. We'll have a lot more here moving forward. So we're going to need everybody.
Coach, the schedule's the schedule. Does the bye come at a good time in your mind, and what kind of things will you do this week, and how will you handle the weekend?
Yeah, I don't know when's a good time, bad time, but today we'll practice today, tomorrow, and Thursday. Take Friday and Saturday off, and then come back in Sunday, have our practice, and do a normal game week. That's something that I think is important to make sure we still continually stay on that schedule. We're going to work hard on fundamentals, on the areas that we need to get better at. We know the next 4 games are going to be a challenge. This will be our first conference game here. This will be our first road game, and 3 of the next 4 will be conference road games. So we have to prepare, to go on the road and play really, really good football. So we're going to look at the first 3 games, figure out the areas that we've done things well, where we need to get better at. Take a look at our self-scout tendencies that the opponents will be looking at on our end. And then I do think it's good, for these guys to get their legs back underneath them. August was a pretty physical month for us because we had to get ready in week 1. So it's really a combination of all those things.
With 5 touchdowns and 40 yards or more so far this season, does it become more tempting to take those shots with the success that you've had?
I love taking shots more than anybody, but it's not always there. Sometimes they're going to say, we're going to take away the shots. So when they're there, we'll be aggressive down the field, but that's why balance is so critical. Identifying what a defense is doing and then being able to take advantage of that. And we're looking to establish that. We're looking to establish how to, win the line of scrimmage, get the ball to our players in space, stretch the field horizontally and vertically. And you can't just, break the huddle and look to launch it every play. It doesn't work that way. There's a lot of good coaches across the country, and they know who some of our skill players are. So we work hard on trying to, find those situations and find creative ways to do that. I thought we did a decent job of that with one of the play designs, the one in particular to Jeremiah where we brought Carnell in the backfield, the safety spun, so the middle field safety kind of found himself towards the line of scrimmage, tried to fight his way to get back. Brandon caught his attention and we got behind him on that play. I thought the route to Carnell, was well executed. It was a really good route. We got the look we were looking for. So you don't always get that, and I think it's important for the quarterbacks to understand when we are trying to call a shot if it's there, because there's a lot of other shots that were called that, they were in a shell and you got to check the ball down. And that's where, we'll keep calling shots if Julian or if Lincoln's in there can say, hey, if it's there, we're going to take it. If not, we're going to take the underneath stuff. And we called the shot, and it was a check down to Bo Jackson for 11 yards. I mean, that's good football right there. So we do have the speed to stretch it vertically, and when we can do that and make good decisions and stay on schedule, then we got a chance. So, but at the end of the day, the balance is what we're looking for, to identify what a defense is doing and then how we take advantage of that.
Ryan, things like managing a bye week and just keeping players fresh during the course of the season, travel, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
How much do the logistics like that affect the football these days, especially in a longer season with the 12-team playoff?
Yeah, I think it all adds up. I think everything matters. And to your point, how you handle these things. And we look very closely at last year. Mick and I went through it yesterday, through every single day over the last, or over these 2 weeks last year during this week, what we did on each day, how much in terms of total yards, high-speed yards, the workload, where we were coming into it at this point last year, where we were at this point, where we are at this point this year, and then individually some of the guys as well. And so, that's the science of it. And then there's also just the coach and the common sense in you, just to see your team and what you need and where you feel like you're going, what the schedule looks like moving forward, the opponents, the travel. So when we take all those things into consideration and want to make sure we have a fresh team. That's why I think when you look at how hard we practiced in August, the Texas game early on, I think it's going to be good here to get some good work in, but also have some of these days where they can get off their feet and be ready to go for a great 4-game run here.
Two more, we'll go to Over Newest for a second.
Bo Jackson's obviously made a splash so far. He seems to have an explosiveness that's pretty rare. Yet after the game, you were asked about it, kind of obviously tamped it down a little bit. Is it a matter of just, okay, he's a freshman, let's just not get ahead of ourselves? Or how special do you think he is and can be?
Well, we were just talking about that as an offensive staff. It doesn't take a veteran coach to recognize talent when you see it. And Bo has talent. And we're going to keep bringing him along. It's a long season. And so, we're going to continue to give him the opportunities to prove that we can trust him with the ball in his hands. So far, he's done that. You can see his vision. You can see his ability to catch the ball. He's got a lot of different skills. We're going to keep bringing him along, and the more he can take, the more we're going to give him. But I also think there's, just like any other position, there's a way you bring guys along, and the number one thing is ball security, taking care of that football, and then there's pass protection, and then there's all those things, and he's checked these boxes. I mean, he's doing a nice job. So we're going to need everybody in that room. I think they're all a little bit different, which is unique. So it's our job to put them in a situation to be successful. But he's going to get plenty of carries this year.
Last question for
Ryan, when you have taken those downfield shots with Julian, he hasn't missed in any of those opportunities on the field.
Jeez.
What has he done well to be accurate in those situations?
Well, first off, you have to trust your footwork, and I think that is important when you're dealing with certain throws. You have to understand that there's a footwork that comes with it, especially when we're launching the ball so far down the field. There's a timing, and when you look at guys like Carnell and Jeremiah and some of the receivers we have, they can cover such so much distance in a short period of time. I think he does a nice job with the trajectory of the ball, because the more trajectory you have on a ball, the more margin of error you have. So actually the first go ball to Jeremiah, we usually like to throw that about 42 yards, what we call in the red line, which is an imaginary line, 4 yards from the boundary. And, on the red line, when you throw that ball, it's the wide receiver's job to make sure he's shielding off the defender and catching over his outside shoulder. When you throw the ball with a lot of air, you have the ability to maybe come back for it and things like that. So I think that was well done. On the two post throws, I thought both guys set on those angles, and he found the angle. But I think when you have such fast guys, you have to be able to get that ball out there, and you got to put a lot of height on it and let them adjust to it. And even the one to Jeremiah, when you put that ball in the air for him and he jumps up and he's so big and strong, he can kind of shield the defender with his body, which is what he did. I feel like the one to Carnell, he kind of dropped that one right in the basket. But a big part of it is your footwork, because when you're throwing it that far, think about when you're throwing a ball from one hash mark all the way to the red line. Let's just say it's 42 yards. We also have to take the distance of where it is on the field. So you may be throwing a 60-yard ball with a lot of air, and that takes everything you have. So you have to have your feet in the ground to throw those balls. And a big part of that is how your footwork is, where you're hitching, how you're hitching, and that certainly helps. And then the last part is you never want to be late. If you're late throwing the ball down the field, it's going to be different. The other thing I would say too is when you're throwing a deep ball into the boundary as opposed to the field, they're two different throws, because the one in the boundary is a lot closer than the one in the field. So there's a lot of things to take into consideration. We spend a lot of time talking about them, working them, and making sure that we're on point, because we always say around here, when you take your shots, we've got to hit them. And that separates the success of an offense. We try to be north of 50-50 on deep balls, but when we take them, we got to hit them.
All right, Coach, thank you.
Okay, thanks.
You've been listening to the Ryan Day Press Conference on The Fan.
Sponsored by the Roofing Guys. For all your roofing, siding, and gutter needs, contact the Roofing Guys at theroofingguys.com.
All right, way under on that. This is what we anticipated before the show started, that Ryan Day was going to do an impromptu presser, improvement week, and all that, and get his coordinator some time. So, TLC, you let me know when Hartline jumps back to the podium.
We'll do just that.
Love to hear from him, because they're coming out of last week. We want to hear about the red zone calls. We want to hear about what they were thinking. Now, obviously, early on, Sands dancing out on that fourth down, and he gets tripped. But he misses his guy first. And that's where the experience comes into play. That's where, he's not an absolute, fully formed quarterback yet. We see the talent. The ceiling's incredible. But those are the things you want him to experience now in wins. All right, we're going to flip it. We're going to start with defense coordinator Matt Patricia, who's been lights out this year.
Our guys are doing an unbelievable job, I think, with the installations and the learning and the different pieces and putting that all together. I just can't give enough credit to the way that they've gone after this and studied and learned and practiced and improved. What's really been great is, we'll put things in, and sometimes you put things in and you're taking a look at it and you're like, man, I'm not really sure if I like that or not. And then they're kind of like, hey, let's give it one more look. And they fixed it, where they've made you feel more comfortable about those calls, which I love, that ownership that they've been able to do with some of the stuff that we've done. So it's been pretty good. Pretty good, yeah.
We'll go over here, Kellyanne Stitz, WSYX.
Just heading into the bye week, looking at the last 3 weeks, the defense has played very well. But what's the focus this week as you guys get ready to go on the road to Washington?
Yeah, so exactly right. We got to go on the road now. We have a whole operation there that'll be a little bit different than what we're used to, communication-wise, and then certainly, Washington being in their home stadium and having that advantage for their offense. So that gives us some different challenges, and certainly just this. Teams get better each week, and Washington will be, the next best team that we face in their offense, and Coach Fish does a great job. Jed does a great job with that unit and their quarterback and their skill players and the running game and all the things that they present from a problem standpoint. I think they're tops, in college football and a lot of offensive stats. So he's a great coach. They got really good players. This is a huge challenge for us to travel and kind of the change of schedule. We finally kind of getting on like a normal schedule here in season. It's been nice to be home. I really enjoy our crowd. I enjoy our fans a lot. That's a big advantage for us. And so if they can travel and get out there as much as possible, that'd be awesome. I'm all for it.
Tony Girdman, Buckeye Huddle.
Matt, when you got a guy like Caleb who can do all of these different things, he needs a running mate that can handle a lot of the stuff he's not doing. What makes Jalen McClain that kind of guy, and what kind of potential do you see for him?
Yeah, Jalen, I think, really has follow along with Caleb in the communication. That's the biggest piece, with the safeties. They got to talk back and forth. And depending if you're playing, middle field close coverage or split safety coverage, there's a lot of communication that goes outside from that position and then towards the front. And I think that, just learning how Caleb approaches the game, Jalen's really done a good job of kind of following that model. And, so it's good when you have a great player in front of you and you do what he does. That usually helps you out a lot. But I think those two and their chemistry together, along with the linebackers, those are our main communicators. And Lorenzo's in there too a little bit, because he's kind of moving positions and tied into the middle of the defense more with the communication. I think those three in the back end, along with like Sonny and Arvell and Peyton, tying that to the front, it's been really good. I think that you see it in the meetings a lot. We talk in the meetings and we have that conversation in the meeting room, then you feel confident when you go out on the field, you'll be able to get that communication done in the moment.
Matt Murphy, 24/7 Sports.
Matt, in the NFL, I don't think you have 70-0 games very often, or games where you can get as many guys in. How much of an adjustment has it been for you to try and coach off of games like that, where guys are getting away with maybe some things they won't down the road, as opposed to the NFL, where every week is a major challenge?
Yeah, I think that's a great point of we've got to just be consistent with what we're coaching and what we're asking the guys to do, and the coaches have done a great job of that, and the players want that too. It's good to be able to have those reps in a game where you can kind of really get that fundamental technique down and that teaching and the communication down where it's happening at game speed. Practice is great, but there's nothing like being able to do it, live in that environment under that sort of, just stress of a game. So being able to evaluate guys in those moments has been really important. I think that's it's actually critical for us going forward as we are trying to identify players in different roles and then guys that can come in certain situations and earn different spots in different units that we have. So those have been really important snaps, I think, in the games that we've had where those guys have gotten in.
Over here to the right, Dylan Davis, Delaware Gazette.
Having a guy like Caleb Donald and what he's able to do that big, play with that kind of motor, what does that do to free you up in the back end and what you want to do there? Yeah, you love to be strong in the middle of the defense, and he is strong in the middle of the defense. He's right there, right in front of the center, right in front of the quarterback, and I think offensively, you're trying to figure out, okay, how do we get around this? That's the biggest thing. So that's a key piece for us. He's done a great job, I think, of really improving and showing just how big he can play inside. And sometimes what that does to a defense is actually allows you to push your defense out a little bit more. Kind of went through that in some of the other nose guards that I've had, or interior guys that I've had, where guys maybe can widen out some alignments. They can play a little bit off and deeper because it's going to take the play a little bit longer to get to them when you have that ability inside. So I think he's done a great job, but I think those other guys really, Will Smith showed up and he had a couple really good plays, and Edric does a good job inside, and Taiwan, those guys have all really kind of every single week gotten a little bit better with that technique. I think, K-Max he's just ahead of those guys. He's done a really good job with it.
Jeremy Birmingham.
Matt, after 3 games back in the college game after 25 years or whatever, how has the roster size benefited someone like you who doesn't really subscribe to one defensive philosophy? How valuable has it been to just be able to tinker with any variety of formations or players that you want?
Yeah, it's been fun having that many pieces, that much depth, and we have young guys in those positions too, but being able to put out different sub packages or different base packages and put some of those guys in those positions has been really good. And I think those guys earned an opportunity to go play. So to be able to have that much opportunity to do that with those guys has been really good. And sometimes you got to be careful because I'm looking at the board maybe on a Tuesday and I'm like, oh, we can run all these packages. And you're like, all right, we can't get all that practice because you're trying to get everybody a job and a role. And I think the coaches have done a good job of putting different guys in those positions to be able to get them all out in the field. And I think all of these snaps that we're getting now are going to pay off, in the long run. We don't know what it's going to look like a month from now, but certainly getting as much game rep as we can now helps everybody, I think.
Bill Rabinowitz.
We've talked to you since the beginning of the season. What went into the decision for you to stay on the field as opposed to the booth?
Yeah, I've always been on the field calling the defense, and all the coordinating years that I had. And just I feel that being down on the field is good from a communication standpoint, talking to the signal callers. Guys do both. Some guys are upstairs, and it's much calmer. It's a different atmosphere. You can see the game. Got to have great eyes upstairs, when you're downstairs. But what's interesting for me in the college game is the video. That's really crazy. We have the iPad, the tablets with you can see the whole play. It's like the entire video. I actually think this one got me the other day. I was swiping through, and I'm like, it was probably a bad play or whatever. I'm trying to correct, and all of a sudden the TV copy, and there's my daughter, on the show. I was like, what the heck is going on? I was like, trying to swipe through that. I was like, all right, wait, next. But that's really been cool, to be able to have the full play and to be able to adjust, because you can really get all of that. So in the series, it's real important to have the eyes upstairs, because you're kind of trying to correct as you go. But when you get to the sideline, to be able to see that full video really makes it great down in the field. And then I can talk to the players, and I can see how they're feeling. And when we make adjustments, maybe I'm looking at a guy like, hey, are you okay if we go to this call, or maybe this disguise or this look? And if you're getting the double blink, you're going, all right, never mind, move to something else. So you can just kind of get a better feel for how they're feeling about maybe some of the stuff that you're trying to do during the game.
Cameron T. Robinson, The Athletic.
Matt, I think there's a lot of talk over the offseason about depth on the defensive line, and you faced up a lot of fronts. What about that group lends itself to you being able to be so creative with them up front?
Yeah, one of the big things during the spring that was really good was just I was able to observe and watch the different skill sets that everyone had, and with the defensive line, Coach Johnson does an unbelievable job of coaching these guys. They all have maybe a little bit of different things they do well, and things that maybe you don't want them, positions you don't want them in. And by being able to use multiple fronts and different looks, I'm trying to just get them in the best possible position to do what it is they do well, so they can go play fast and aggressive. So using that variety, I think, hopefully has helped them as they're building their fundamentals and their techniques to be in positions that are advantageous for them. And like I said, Coach Shea does a great job of, we've put a couple different looks out there front-wise, and he's just been able to get them all lined up and get them ready to go, and the communication and the techniques and all that stuff. So he's done a great job with those guys.
Bill Landis.
Man, when you have a guy like Arvell, who, I don't know if he's your best pass rusher, he's certainly one of them, but he's also really good at being a spy. How do you balance putting him in both of those roles? And is there anything that's advantageous when the guy who can pass rush is also your best spy in terms of being unpredictable to the offense?
Yeah, Arvell has a skill set that he can do a lot of things really well. Early in the game, he had a nice pass breakup too. He can run, and he's really long, so he can cover those guys. And just trying to pull a little bit of uncertainty in the offense to figure out what exactly is he doing on this play. I think that's the biggest thing that you can do with guys that have that multiple ability, on the field. Pass rush, he's certainly dynamic if you can get him around the quarterback for sure, and he's big and long and can run and chase these guys down. So just continually asking him to do different things. He's done a great job of just understanding that and being put in positions. There's a lot of calls on the field actually where he might be changing some of the assignments based on different looks that we have, and his ability to do that has really been outstanding. So you like those pieces on the field, sure.
Stephen Means, Cleveland.com.
Just 3 games in, it seems like you found a defined role for Devin as a true freshman in that dime package role. Can you just evaluate what you've seen from him through those 3 games in that role, and do you feel like there's maybe room for him to be able to do more for you as the season progresses?
Yeah, I think he's done a really good job of going out there and kind of handling. That's a pressure situation, third down, some of those packages he's gone in, 2-minute, whatever it is. You have to perform. Those are kind of gotta-have-it moments, and I think he's done a good job. There's certainly room for improvement, and he's a young player right now. He's still trying to get all the different techniques and the alignments, but the communication's been great. Assignments have been really good. He's certainly very gifted athletically and can handle that. So hopefully these snaps that we're building on now can help, him improve as we go forward. And certainly also we're trying to build our depth, to make sure that we have that handled as we go forward, and putting him in that position, in that role, allows us to kind of build on that every single week. So there's things that we're doing in practice that maybe don't show up in the game, where he's getting the game reps to be able to get a good evaluation, maybe just kind of get him that exposure. But during practice, we're having him in some different positions too, where we feel like we're building confidence to be able to do that with him going forward.
Deep right, Dan Hope, 11 Warriors.
Washington's quarterback's a dynamic runner. What kind of challenge is that, and how much did it help to go against a guy like Parker Navarro this past week?
Yeah, it certainly helped to be able to see that style of play. But, getting to Washington, he's very much a little bit almost like Kyler Murray. Like that first step quickness that he has and his ability to get to top speed it's explosive. It's fast. He's quick. He gets out of the pocket, and he's got a really strong live arm. This thing can go downfield. They've got good players to get the ball to. So that's going to be a huge challenge for us. Even when you think, you watch the tape, you think you've kind of got him bottled up, he can get out. And that reminds me a lot, like I said, of Kyler Murray, who just, it's so fast to that first step speed. Like you can go from, get your top speed in one step. That makes it very difficult for defensive players, especially guys in the front. A lot of times they're bigger, longer, slower. You're trying to rush, or you're trying to play the run game because he can obviously run with the ball too a certain way. You think you have him leveraged, and then all of a sudden he sidesteps it, and then he's out the gate. So getting a look at that last week was good for us. Live in game, those reps will be valuable, and then it's got to really be next level as we go forward to Washington.
Jeff Gilbert, Press Pros.
Coach, coach pro guys for so long, coaching college guys. I don't know what your expectations were for these guys. A lot of new starters, but sort of what level of professionalism do they bring to the job every day, and is it more or less than what you thought it might be?
Yeah, I think that's a really good just kind of observation, and I'll second all of that. These guys have been unbelievable to go into the meeting room, and I think I've said this before, but it's such a joy to kind of be around these guys. There is that professionalism that you walk into the meeting room, they're very serious, they take notes, they want to learn what the game plan is, they really want to learn about the opponent. But then there's just that also joy of they are young kids, they have that youthful energy about them. They love the game for the game. It's just all of that stuff being around younger players that just, come out of them. They have fun. They're out there celebrating the 6, 7. I don't even know what that is, but my kids know what it is, and they get excited about it. So, I love to see that energy and that excitement that they have around each other, and they're young, they're great young men, but in that meeting room and on that practice field, they're as serious as they can be, trying to just be the best players they can be. So it's a great combination, honestly, to be around. It's a lot of fun.
And final question, Doug Maurice.
So, Matt, 3 games in, it seems to be going pretty well so far. In the end, a new defensive coordinator coming into a new program, that is a big adjustment for players to get used to you and you to get used to them, or, you guys all know ball, no big deal, it's fine.
Yeah, give credit to the players. I think they've done a good job of just trying to learn. And again, I would say we've carried some things over, it wasn't totally different, maybe just taught a little bit differently, maybe just more conceptual from that standpoint. There's a lot of carryover in the coverages and some of the techniques and some fronts, but not fronts that maybe weren't in the packages. We're just kind of utilizing guys in different ways. So I think the guys have just done an unbelievable job of just, being open-minded to trying to learn maybe a little bit different and put the packages together. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, my whole goal is to teach and mentor and coach young men and help develop young men and, hopefully have a positive impact in their lives going forward. And that's really what I'm trying to do. And that's what's been the most fun.
All right, Coach, thank you very much.
Thanks a lot.
All right, that's Matt Patricia. And I got to tell you, through 3 games, that's not a victory lap. That's a guy that is truly enjoying his job and also feeling that when he was hired, it was met with a really? You haven't coached in college in 20-some-odd years. You have no experience with collegiate defenses. Well, let me break some news to people. These guys are semi-pro already, especially at Ohio State. We've seen them go into the pros, Matty, and right away make an impact. So that's number one. But it was, he gave up 41 points and 500-plus yards in a Super Bowl to Nick Foles and then his stint as a head coach. I just feel like sometimes you put a guy right in his lane, his solo lane, back in college when he presumably has as much or more talent than anybody else, and then you get some of these overmatched games, and this is what you're going to get. But he's had an incredible start, and you can just hear it in his voice how much he's loving it.
It's got vibes of Chip Kelly from last year, but on the defensive side of the ball, right, where Patricia can come in, and right away we see it in that Texas game. he is flustering and frustrating Texas and Arch Manning, and the expertise that he has because of his time in the NFL and learning from Bill Belichick is already paying off, and you're just seeing this defense fly around.
All right, let's flip to the other side of the ball. Here's the new play caller, OC, Brian Hartline.
Identify what you want to do as the guy with the play sheet. How do you see that?
The tight end use? Is that what you're asking?
What's that?
What are you asking?
As the guy with the play sheet, Brian was talking last week about how the tight ends allow you guys to be multiple in everything you do, kind of keep defense on their toes and understand what's going on. How have you seen that evolve through 3 games? And do you see that as like an advantage for you guys?
Well, I think anytime you can be multiple in personnel, you'll probably ask or demand different reactions by a defense. So, I think us having so many different guys available offensively, we want to try to use as many guys as possible. I think the tight end room has done a really good job. They're asked to do a lot of things, right? They have to run routes like a wideout. They got to block like an offensive tackle. They have to get all the run IDs, but they'll also be elite in the pass game if they want to play. So their job description is really vast, and they spend a lot of time, trying to do everything correct and everything at a high level. So I think rightfully so, those guys are mismatches potentially, right? What kind of opportunity do you have to run a route versus a linebacker, or are you just blocking a safety, right? So putting those guys in the right position can be a bonus for the offense, but you got to use them properly. And but they've done a really good job. They do a great job at practice. So ultimately, for them to be worked in the game, I think is really important. Again, they can do everything. You got to make sure you're targeted on what they do, and then it makes it hard for the defense to play them just one type of way. They got to account for them in all facets.
Andy Andrews, Leopard Warriors.
I know there's only one ball and he's done some good things blocking, but what's your evaluation of how Brandon's done these first few weeks, and is there going to be an opportunity to maybe get him more targets?
Yeah, I think Brandon's done a great job. I think he was as a guy that whatever his job description is done at a high level. So again, as we're being multiple, as we talk about the tight ends, as we talk about Brandon, he's able to do a lot of different things. So his role is going to change constantly based on defenses and what they do, but anything we ask him to do, he does at a high level. So I'm not really concerned about the job description as it is just, where does he fit this week and weeks moving forward, and then how defenses want to account for him. So the tool sets are vast. How we want to use them is probably what's going to change the most, week to week. But he's done a great job.
Far left, Steve Hellwagon, 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Coach. Obviously, the red zone was a little bit of a problem this past week. In there 3 times and got 2 field goals the first 3 quarters, whatever it was. But Coach Day was up here, said it was maybe a different thing on each set of downs and each play that kind of cropped up. And some of it was Ohio making great plays in coverage. Just from your standpoint, what are the things you guys are going to really drill down on to put the ball in the end zone in the games going forward when you get down there?
Yeah, I think combination of everything the coach already hit on, right? So execution is part of it, but putting guys in right positions to make plays is another part of it. So we all own it as a group. We definitely want to score every time we get down there, that's for sure. But there was learning opportunities too. I think there was different opportunities for the quarterback to see things a little different things for us to make plays on the perimeter, but also in protection. So everyone had their own little growth opportunity, and myself too, putting those guys in the right spots to make sure that we can execute at a high level. Obviously, every time we be in the red zone, the expectation is to score touchdowns, both from the outside world and this building. So anytime we're not doing that, we're always looking for ways to enhance and do it at a more consistent level. So that was probably one of our first opportunities where it didn't go the way we wanted it to go, and that's a great chance to get a little better.
Jardy, Columbus Dispatch.
Right, 3 games in the season, how's the new play calling setup going? What do you like? How are things settling in, just in general? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think that it's been awesome. I think I've really enjoyed it. I think I love the connection with the guys. I love the interaction I have across the board with the personnel. I think that every chance you're in that situation or you're at an opportunity to call a game, there's an opportunity to learn and grow and frankly, I do it daily with Coach Day, but to be out there doing it live, there's nothing like those kind of reps. So I think that, again, going into the bye, I think there's been an opportunity to grow offensively, which really checks the box. If you were to go back a month and be like, what's your initial goal for the first 3 weeks? One is going to find a way to win week 1. The next couple goals would be like, we're seeing growth, we're seeing development both as players and as coaches to that first bye. All right, let's do a good job of being organized through that bye and then come out of the bye ready to haul until that next kind of break we had to have. You got to broke it up in sections. That's what I would have said a month ago. So I think looking back, we've done a lot of those things, but still trying to press to be better, more consistent, and continue to put the guys in the right spots.
And May.
Yeah, Brian, 3 games in too with Julian saying, what do you feel like you can run pretty much anything you want to run now? I mean, what is the sense of your trust in him, your confidence in him running the offense?
Well, I'd say that he's done a great job. I think that, you don't ever make assumptions. I don't think you're ever in a spot where like, okay, we can just do whatever we want now. We're very targeted with everything we do. We'll never make that assumption. I think he's grown and done a really good job. Definitely had some learning opportunities every week. So his ability to take that information and apply it will ultimately continue that growth. I would say that I'm really proud of him. I think he's doing a great job. But we're never going to take that assumption that we can just do whatever we want and put him in every situation we want. So always going to be targeted. Always going to continue to make sure the game plan is very clear and concise, and maybe not easy, but maybe simple, which is good. So we can play at a very, very high level. But yeah, I think we're taking the right steps. But again, we got a long road ahead. Again, we take retrospect to maybe where we were week 3 last year compared to where we finished. We just want to continue to stay on pace, continue to grow, and I think Julian's doing a great job individually.
Quick follow-up too. I mean, a lot of people thought when you got this job, you'd just be bombs away all day. You know what I mean? And I try to caution them. I've heard you talk and stuff. You really understand the importance of the run game, right? I mean, can you explain that to people? What it means to get 3 running backs going? Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of guys on the field at one time. It's not just quarterback and wideouts. So, yeah, I mean, I think talked for a while on this. Well, I would say that, we talked about Julian. Julian's a first-year starter, right? So his best friend should be a good run game, right? We have a great O-line that's doing a really good job of progressing in their own path. So I think, again, we got to where we were last year because of the run game. It wasn't just because of the pass game. Great pass game is complemented by a great run game and vice versa. So to have play-action passes, it's not great if you don't have a great run game and you don't have great tight ends that can do all those kind of things. So being very balanced makes it a little more difficult, I think, for the defenses to maybe pin you down a certain way. But I've always believed, I'm a big fan of play action pass. I love the art of selling something you're not doing. And so, yeah, I mean, that assumption would be a little too surface for me for the run game, but I appreciate you asking.
Austin Ward.
Brian, you said repeatedly there that you didn't make assumptions about what Julian could do. Coach Day said after the Texas game, maybe you guys could have put more on his plate. So at least in game plan or expectation-wise, how much has he exceeded what you guys thought going into the year? Yeah,
I would say as a coach, you always want to be in that position where we probably could have done a little more instead of being like, oh man, we did too much, right? So I think we've done a good job of that. Coach Fessler's done a really good job with that, Coach Day, and making sure we're really clean on what we put on his plate. He is continuing to do a good job with accepting more week to week, and maybe some checks last week, and so we want to keep progressing that without being too much, right? It's all based on what fits week to week. It's not about always, hey, this is what we're going to do this week. Well, we're going to do what fits right for the team, for the personnel, for Jules, for the running backs, for the wideouts, and we try to make sure we focus it that way, not make assumptions. And but again, I think that Julian, again, week in and week out, is taking strides. I think he has I'm sure he has a lofty goal. I've never asked him, frankly, but I'm sure he's not where he wants to be. And again, week 3 into at least 12, hopefully, and hopefully more from there. There's a lot of football to be played.
Far left, play hall.
Another play calling question. Do you feel some freedom to do what you want to do, or what's in your, this is, I believe in this, or are you always beholden to the boss?
No, I think it's definitely it's not one way or the other. But I think any person under a great head coach would feel the exact same way. I mean, I think that if you weren't that way, that'd be kind of reckless for anybody as a play caller, I think. So But no, I mean, I stand by what I believe in. I also, if we bring things up and we don't like it, I'll say I don't like it. I mean, it's been very transparent. And then when I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And it is what it is, or whatever. So I think the relationship and the thickness of skin is good. And so we just kind of keep growing. And again, ultimately, we all have the same thing at heart. We want to make sure we're putting our players in the best position to be successful. And if not, then it's on us, right? If they are and we're not executing, then that's a different conversation. But, I think, again, I don't like to think I'm gun shy, and Coach Day is definitely not gun shy. So, but no, I think it's a good balance.
Has he been hands off for the most part? Or
I mean, Coach has been great. I mean, I think that, he lets me kind of do my thing. And then, if there's something he wants to get done, he echoes it and we keep pushing. So, but I've been I'm trying to not be happy. Hold on a second. I know he's not happy. So I am, I guess, okay with the way it's been so far. I always want to be better. I'm never going to be satisfied. But, I think that there's been a lot of growth, and I'm learning a lot on the way, and coaches keep me posted.
Wow, that's good stuff from my boy Clay Hall coming out of retirement, getting the is it your way or is it the head coach's way and the freedom? And I did enjoy that follow-up, which is, well, we never really got to the ultimate follow-up, which is who has the final say. We know you have a voice, clearly, which is what he said, and obviously the head coach has a voice. So the actual follow-up that you really want is, okay, so have you butted heads yet on a call? And who gets the tiebreaker?
I would have to guess, AR, that Coach Day has full veto power and anything and everything that comes through that headset, both on offense, defense, and special teams. I love the end right there because he caught himself, I think, wanting to say, like, hey, I feel pretty good about what we're doing. But we hear Coach Day week in and week out always say to a point like, we got a lot of work to do. We're not close. But you could hear, I think, in Brian Hartline's voice that the way the offense is starting to roll and how things, for the most part, have looked pretty good, especially when you're starting a new quarterback. Like the OCC's the vision, right, of where this can be down the line. And he talked about some of the optionality that he has as a play caller due to the tight end room and obviously what they have out wide. And he highlighted what he likes to do with play action. So that was funny to me at the end, AR, is that he thought about Coach Day in that moment. He said, I better not say that I'm really happy with everything we're doing. We still got to clean some things up.
The coach speak he's learning coach speak as much as he's learning anything.
For sure.
And it's honestly, we listened to Matt Patricia, and the defense has been incredible. But I am surprised he didn't get asked about, hey, you gave up a 67-yard touchdown out of half. Was that anybody's fault? Was it a great play?
Yeah.
How come you couldn't get him to the ground? Because when things are going great, the last thing that a lot of people do want to hear, maybe coaches are okay with it, maybe the fans actually don't want to hear it, is the nitpicking. Oh, they won 37-9. What are you talking about, a 67-yard touchdown? Yes, because it's in your building and against the Bobcats, and that's not something you should give up.
And and to your point, Aaron, you got to look at it, I think, through a hair of a different lens, and the opponent's down the line. And those type of mistakes may come back to haunt you when the talent balances out. So I think it's perfectly fine to nitpick just a little bit because I guarantee you those are the things that they're doing behind the scenes. That play that you're talking about, I'm sure they've gone that play over and over again. And it's just what you have to do when you're at this level of a program because there's massive games coming down the line. And when you're expected to be in the postseason and make a run, you can't have those mistakes or your season may be over.
The other part of it is when you heard Hartline talking about, where would we be after 3 games, try to look at it where we were after 3 games last year. You can't look at it that way. You can't at all. They were playing Akron, Western Michigan, and Marshall. They didn't play Texas.
Yeah.
So you have to balance it differently. And then the questions about where saying is and how much can you open the playbook and all that. I think that's very interesting, especially now getting a bye week, because I think the bye week is going to present an opportunity because they know the opponent's going up at Washington. And they know they're going on the road, maybe a tougher environment for a young quarterback. And I wonder how much in the bye week they can now open up for him because they're going to need it.
Yeah, we've seen it grow, right? It went from a bit of a conservative playbook to mine in week 1, and over the last 2 weeks, they've been taking shots. Coach Day mentioned today, I love taking shots. You got to have those timely shots throughout a game, but just the offense as a whole, there's a flow to it, and if they stay in the flow with the playmakers that they have, they're going to be lighting up the scoreboard.
All right, we'll come back. We're just kind of getting rolling. We got a little Fool's Paradise on deck, as always, on a Tuesday. Is this unknown receiver a must-add in fantasy? We'll tell you next. Rothman and Ice in the Fan.
If you consider yourself a Buckeye fan, you've come to the right place. This is your heritage sports talker and home of Ohio State Athletics, The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
You know that project you've been working on? Just chipping away at it, dreaming of the day you get to show it off? Then, when you're least expecting it, cancer. And finishing that project actually happens. I would know. I've been restoring this car for years, and today I'm giving it to my granddaughter. It's her 16th birthday and 2 years since my cancer diagnosis.
Mom, you finished it?
Happy birthday, boo-boo. You keep making plans.
Visit ohiohealth.com/keepmakingplans to learn more.
Hey Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions, and yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun, your way. That means you pick your wager. Will it be $1, $2, a crisp $20? Your call. Like picking your own numbers? Use any inspiration you like. Birthdays, jersey numbers, you name it. And if you don't feel like choosing, there's the Super Quick Auto Pick. With regular promotions that'll get you more bang for your Keno buck, multiple ways to win, prizes galore, and live draws every few minutes. Anytime is the right time to get in on the Keno action. Keno is always fun, your way. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Your new Columbus home for the Jim Rome Show is The Fan 2.
Catch the live experience weekdays from 3 to 6.
Just one requirement. Have a take and don't suck. The Fan 2, Columbus's home of the Jim Rome Show.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
No one does happy hour like Twin Peaks. Whatever your preference, we have everything from tequila cocktails and an extensive bourbon category to top shelf spirits and cocktails served over ice balls. And don't forget about our 29-degree drafts.
Common Man here for Universal Windows Direct. Fall is the perfect season to tackle those home improvement projects before the weather turns cold. And if new windows are on the list, see my guys at Universal Windows Direct. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 free. And there's no limits, plus 0% financing for 3 whole years. And a double bonus, you get $500 off your entire home improvement project when you schedule now. Give them a call, 614-502-5220, universalwindowsdirect.com. Like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Bob Yoakum, president of Rockford Homes, talks about what makes First Bank of Central Ohio different.
I would say it starts by caring. It starts by doing what you say you're going to do and following through on it. When you're talking about local, you're talking about relationships and people that matter to you. I don't care if that's personally or professionally.
Experience what it's like to be first at First Bank of Central Ohio. Visit fbcentralohio.com for more details. Member FDIC, an equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 in Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Let's scratch that fantasy football itch. It's Rothman and Ice's Fool's Paradise.
All right, the mental hedge paid off, which is what it's designed to do. I needed Mike Evans to go over 75 and a half yards because I bet it live because he caught a pass early. So I bet him under. He went under. And so I lose in fantasy, but I win in the wallet.
Okay.
Which is, now if you're asking me the tough question, what would I have rather have had happen? I would have rather won in fantasy.
Okay.
I would rather bought myself a win versus get paid to lose.
With the way your bank account's set up, what's a few extra dollars that you don't need it, You're good over
my
there.
Gambling lately.
You're good over there.
You get a win. I get a loss. It puts us at you're number 2 in our league. I am number 3. I am the second highest scoring team in the league. You are the 3rd highest scoring team in the league.
We're doing okay.
So we're hanging in there.
We're doing all right.
Need to ask you about a guy that I teased.
Talk to me. What do you need?
If anybody's even heard of the guy.
What can I help you with?
Troy Franklin.
Yeah, for Denver?
Troy Franklin was selected by the Broncos in the 4th round last year with the 102nd overall pick.
Former Oregon Duck?
Yes, and here's the key. We love the reunited, and it feels so good. Reunited with Bo Nix.
Good call.
You get that kind of the collegiate thing.
Oh, yeah.
Listen, this isn't Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow, but he caught his first career touchdown in week 6. I think it was last year. But Sean Payton, it looks like he's finally going to feature this dude in a full-time role.
Okay.
If you think he's going to take off, this would be the time to probably stash him. He's only been in the league a year, and he led the team in snaps, routes, targets, catches, yards.
What we're looking for
all
in fantasy.
In week 2.
That's
and,
what we need.
Oh, by the way, and he scored.
That'll work.
So I don't know if anybody's ever heard of him, but
they have
this
now.
season he's getting a pretty good target share, and so Marvin Mims is who he'd probably be competing with as far as a full-time role and all that. And they've got Evan Ingram, but there is a chance now that Franklin could rise up.
Yeah, I see the vision they are
in his playing time.
I like that. That's definitely a name to monitor on your waiver wire today. I'll throw another wide receiver out there. How about Wan'Dale Robinson and what he's doing right now with the New York Giants? Week 1, he gets 8 targets, catches 6 of them for 55 yards. And then this past week against Dallas in that crazy shootout down in Jerry's world, he gets 10 targets, catches 8 of those for a $142 and a touchdown. So I think between Troy Franklin, Wan'Dale Robinson, 2 guys right now I would monitor if you need some wide receiver help at the moment, because outside of Malik Neighbors, it seems like Russell Wilson has some pretty good chemistry with the former Kentucky Wildcat and Wan'Dale.
Yeah, right now, I would only do that in the PPR leagues, half PPR like we are, not standard. I don't know if I would.
Who's playing
put in a
standard
claim
anymore?
I don't know.
Like, I think let's put standard away. Like,
Is it gone? I don't know.
I played it one year, Aaron. It was the most boring league I ever played in. I did not enjoy it at all. So I have to imagine there's some people out there. But yeah, let's join the half PPR world of fantasy, folks. Let's do that. It's more fun.
I also think, if you do need receiver help, because we're kind of on receivers, that Romeo Doubs with Jaden Reed out now, and I don't know if Doubs is available or where he is. Maybe he's under 60% in a lot of leagues. We'll have to check ours. He's a guy that I would look at the way the Packers are kind of cooking a little bit here. So
I'm mad at it.
Any stashes that you like?
I was not stashes off the top of my head here, but I did just want to highlight the quarterback injuries that we have going on right now. I mean, everybody's well aware right now of the Joe Burrow injury. You got J.J. McCarthy now with an ankle sprain. It looks like he may miss 2 to 4 weeks, somewhere in that window. And then out in Washington, you got Jane Daniels with some type of knee injury. And so his status this week is up in the air, too. So at this point, you're probably not going to find Daniel Jones on your waiver wire. I wouldn't think. Maybe you may have to put in a claim for him after what he's done the last 2 weeks. But some pretty big names right now in the fantasy world that are going to miss some time. And Jane Daniels may not miss any time this week, but he's definitely dealing with a knee injury right now, and his status is questionable at the moment.
Here's the one that's going to be the most intriguing to me. And I like your Daniel Jones call because Shane Steichen, it's working, everything's going fine. Yeah. Honestly, it's the Jake Browning effect with those weapons.
Getting a piece of those weapons.
Yeah, if you need a backup quarterback. And I'm not, listen, for the person that lost Burrow, they're probably in trouble anyway. But if you have those weapons, and so there's an upside to this kid. Now, you got to take the picks. You'll have to take some mistakes. But
to your point, AR, I mean,
Jamar Chase single-handedly.
There you go.
I mean, I did everything I could to offset him this week. I was going up against Jamar Chase, and I almost won even with the 30-plus day he had. Yeah. But there is no stopping him with Burrow. I'm wondering, does the Jamar Chase owner, what are they thinking right now?
I have Jamar Chase, and I'm good.
We got to see it.
He's that
I'm just saying,
good.
If you're looking for a backup QB, who they're going to, by the way, they're also good. They're also going to need to score. They're going to sling it around still.
No question. Yeah. I just think with Jamar Chase, to your point, he and T. Higgins are so good. Like, you can see in the game, like, Jamar Chase can take those quick routes and those quick passes and just rack up so much yak. And then when you get down into the red zone, what we're looking for in fantasy is obviously touchdowns. You'll still have T as the big body guy. So obviously the ceiling isn't as high, but with those guys, they'll still make some noise.
Running backs. Scatabo.
Hey, how many touches did he get last week? What did that look like?
I know that Tyrone Tracy didn't get any touches, so at least late.
I'm looking at right now, Cam Scatabo, 11 rushing attempts. He did score. He did catch 2 passes in the game as well. Okay.
And I had Tyrone Tracy last year, and I really liked him, but Scatabo's the guy. And you have Bashal, right? Tootin?
Yes, for Jacksonville.
Bigsby gone. He's the number 2 now, so he'd be a guy.
Oh, and just check. He's probably not available, but Jordan Mason for your Vikings. Some people may be sleeping in your league with this Aaron Jones injury. I would get Jordan Mason ASAP if you can.
Yeah, he's going to be a big claim now.
Yeah, no doubt.
All right, that's your Fool's Paradise for today. We come back, top of the hour, Sports Center update, and we get a restart and the stat that could actually sink the heavyweight. You'll hear it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Hosts Bishop and Friends.
Weekdays from 9 to noon.
The Fan.
Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. After retiring from professional football, I never expected that me, Bobby, I'd have low testosterone. So I went to my friends over at Affinity. I got my labs done, and now I've been on a testosterone replacement plan with Affinity for 8+ years. Best of all, they've supplemented it with peptides and lots of other great products. Learn why me and thousands of men trust the experts at Affinity to feel their best. Get more energy, better workouts, feel like yourself again. And do not waste another day. Get started at feelgreatcolumbus.com today.
Looking to get your roof or siding replaced this fall? Call the company that delivers an excellent customer experience every time. Newman Roofing. Don't wait. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
Looking for bold flavors and award-winning spirits? High Bank Distillery is your destination for handcrafted cocktails, locally inspired dishes, and Whiskey War, the nationally recognized whiskey. Stop by their Grandview, Gahanna, and Westerville locations this week. Dine, drink, distill at High Bank.
Hey, Central Ohio, it's Andrew from Home Team Solutions. And yes, we buy houses for cash the easy way. We've been buying houses for over 20 years, and we've seen it all. Whether you've inherited a property, you're behind on payments, the house needs work, or just want to avoid the hassle of listing, we've got you covered. No repairs, no clean out, no stress, just a fair cash offer and you pick the closing date. We've helped hundreds of homeowners sell fast and hassle-free, and we're proud to have 5-star reviews all across Central Ohio and an A+ rating with the BBB. If you're ready to sell your house the easy way, call Home Team Solutions at 614-962-SELL. That's 614-962-7355, or visit us online at selltohometeam.com. Home Team Solutions, local, trusted, and family-owned. Again, that's 614-962-SELL. 614-962-7355 or selltohometeam.com.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Baseball tonight, Cleveland's at Detroit at 6:40. Guardians are 3 games out of the NL wild card spot at 78 and 71. Cleveland's Joey Cantillo 5-3 with a 3.36 ERA. Faces Detroit's Casey Mize 14-5 with a 3.83 ERA. Cincinnati's at St. Louis at 7:45. Reds won 11-6 Monday and sit 2 games out of an NL wild card spot at 75 and 75. Cincy's Andrew Abbott 9-6 with a 2.79 ERA. Faces St. Louis's Michael McGreevy 6-3 with a 4.44 ERA. NFL, Cincinnati Bengals are signing quarterbacks Mike White and Sean Clifford to the practice squad. Jake Browning will replace the injured Joe Burrow as the starter. Dallas Cowboys defensive end Jadeveon Clowney is expected to play Sunday versus Chicago after he signed with Dallas over the weekend. Breaking sports news when it happens on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Their live golf team name is Ice Dogs. You're listening to Rothman and Ice.
All right, hour number 2. Rothman and Ice, we're happy to bring you the head coach and both coordinators. Your Ohio State Buckeyes going into their bye week. I was reading a story a while back about the hire of Matt Patricia, and there were several different opinions on it. And the headline of this particular one was that it was going to be catastrophic. First of all, I don't know how it could be catastrophic, but that it was just inexplicable how he could have hired him. And a lot of it was why it was a bad hire, they were saying, was because of the lack of collegiate experience with collegiate defenses. And that when he was winning Super Bowls, that it was with Belichick and it was, with a great team and a great head coach. And it was one of those, also that the Belichick coaching tree hires rarely do work out. That there was some evidence of that.
As head coaches off the Belichick tree?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some have only had some success in college. And now Jed Fish is Washington, right?
Yep.
Yeah. So he was on the Belichick, one of his assistants. And so it was like Romeo Crennel and Charlie Weiss and Mangini and McDaniels and ironically Jim
Patricia.
Yeah, well, of course. And then ironically Jim Schwartz. So Joe Judge, Gerard Mayo, like it goes on and on. Mm-hmm. And so when he was and maybe more recently it was when he was the head coach for the Lions, 6-10 and it was just wild. So and now here he is putting the clamps on Arch Manning. By the way, did you guys see that now Finebaum is like, okay, I'm done with Arch Manning?
He's moonwalking off. This is the best player since Tim Tebow.
We need to find this clip because there's one thing to say that, hey, I probably spoke too soon. There's another thing when you say I'm done. Like that.
I mean, Paul Finebaum also is in the role that he's in, the network that he works for. You got to be a bit of a hot take artist. Like, there's got to be some of that. I hear what you're saying.
After you're done now? Like,
no, that's what I'm saying. I completely understand why you would be confused by that stance
but
and
have
that
a
take
little
from
credibility.
Him. But like when I see guys like that and Stephen A. Smith, and I just think about they've got to move the needle that way when you say stuff like that, because honestly, he had no business saying what he said about Arch prior to the season, that he was the best college football player since Tim Tebow.
That actually was more believable to me.
But based off of what? Like, I heard him say that, and I'm like, what has he done to earn that? Tim Tebow's one of the best quarterbacks in college football that we've seen with his dominance down in Florida. So, like, I think you just throw stuff out there when you're a Paul Finebaum to get some shock from people. I don't know if he really believes it or not.
I actually bought into the fact that he probably has a really high ceiling. Like, I can't believe that many people would get it wrong, that he wouldn't be somewhat of a very talented quarterback that could challenge to win a Heisman Trophy one day. Like that. Now, anointing him as what he said was way off, but
that's all my point.
It doesn't mean that he still won't be very good.
Yeah, that's definitely in play, and we talked about it before they came in here for the first game. These were two quarterbacks in both Julian Sayin and Arch Manning that still have a lot of work to do and a lot of growth within the game, and you got to have time on task. That's the only way you're going to get better and better. And since Texas left Columbus, things have looked a little clunky for them, so much so that this past Saturday, some Longhorn fans were booing Arch Manning. And so you got to work through those growing pains, but you can see the talent that he has. And when it all comes together physically and mentally, he's going to be a handful. And you can say the same thing about Julian right now, too. You got to get these guys some real live reps against different defenses every week, and they just have to figure it out.
Ohio State is better than Texas. Maybe a lot better right now. First game, you didn't really know what you were going to get, but we knew they were talented. Do you have that clip I'm talking about?
Let's do it live.
Right, let's hear it.
You were Paul in on Arch Manning 2 weeks ago. Are you still Paul in on him Terrible after segment yesterday's win, albeit an underwhelming? He's throwing in the white flag.
Waving the flag.
He's throwing in the towel, waving the flag.
Listen, I mean, I'm not bright, but I'm not the stupidest person on the face of the earth. I'm out. Okay, count me out. I gave it a shot. It blew up. I like Arch. He's going to be a great player someday, maybe some year, but not this year. It's over. Come on.
Not even this year.
He did say it's over.
Not even this year. Like, he's done. Like 3 games.
The original quote was, Arch Manning is the best college football quarterback we have seen since Tim Tebow entered the scene in 2006. Come on, man. All the quarterbacks we've seen since 2006, that's crazy to say that.
Would it be crazy to say he was the most hyped since Tebow?
No.
Oh, he's more hyped than Tebow.
No, what I'm saying that.
No, that's not crazy, AR.
Yeah, that probably would have been better that he was the most hyped.
When you
was there anybody else that was more hyped since then?
In terms of somebody who was not a starter entering a starting role, I can't name a single one.
Manziel, that grew in time after we watched him play. I don't remember.
After he won the Heisman.
Right, like it wasn't like we went on that ride his freshman year, but I don't remember the buzz right out of the gate being that he's going to be, like Paul says, the best quarterback that we've seen since Tim Tebow. Like if Arch would have took one lap around the track last year and really balled out and got to the playoff, then I would have understood that take just a little bit. But Arch had less than a handful of starts at this level, and you're saying stuff like that. It was just way too spicy for me.
I mean, you guys, help me, AR. Was Terrell Pryor even close?
It's the last name for Arch. You can't really match that. That's what it is. It's the bloodline. It's the brand of Texas too. It's all of it.
He was hyped enough. Well, there was enough popularity and hope for Pryor that he held a press conference where satellite trucks showed up to say, I haven't made my decision yet. Like it was that big. Like there was.
Really?
Oh yeah. It was. Arch, man. See, I think it's crazier.
Did you guys go to Pittsburgh for his commitment?
I didn't think I personally went. There was. Well, maybe I did. I think I went to the one that was the one that wasn't.
Oh, so you went to the one where he said, I haven't made my decision yet? You're like, great.
I have to go back and check that. Yeah.
Thanks for coming. Glad I just drove 3 hours to Pittsburgh.
I actually think it's crazier for Finebaum to say he's completely out than what he said before.
Really?
Yeah, I do. Wow. I think for him to throw in the towel completely, because basically what he just said there was, well, he didn't really say that because he left himself an out. That he'll still be a good player or great player. Did he say good? He'll still be a great player. Not this year, maybe next year. Is that what he said? It was either good or great.
Either way,
but he sacked him for this year.
Yeah,
he basically just said he will make zero impact the rest of this year. I think that's a little over the top.
Here's where we're at through three games with Arch.
Not great, but
it's 6 touchdowns, 3 interceptions through the air, 55% completion percentage. That's nasty work right there, especially when you're playing San Jose State and UTEP following the Buckeyes. Like that's just not going to get it done. And so it's just AR when
maybe his granddad was right. Maybe he won't come out.
At this point, probably not.
Maybe he knew.
Yeah. Who does Texas have coming up now on their schedule? Let me check this out.
Sam Houston.
And then a trip to Florida.
At Florida.
And then
Oklahoma.
a home game against Oklahoma.
No, that's neutral.
That's neutral site?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Where would that game
Dallas.
be played? Yeah, I think that's in Dallas.
Jerry's World?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. I got you. Okay.
At the Texas State Fair.
Yep.
I do not believe that you can just throw him in the trash for this season. I don't. I think that would be foolish.
But the schedule's not getting any easier.
That is very true. This is a neutral site game. You guys mentioned.
You think he loses every? You think he?
Well, hold on, real quick, AR. Just because you mentioned the schedule. Neutral site game against Oklahoma. They host Vandy, who's 20th in the country. They go to Georgia on November 15th. They'll have a bye. It looks like in between the Vandy and Georgia game, and then the regular season finale airs home against A&M, who's 10th in the country.
They're winning one of those games.
Oh yeah, no question.
One of them.
Well, I'm saying to say that he's out on him would identify or illustrate that he doesn't think he will play big in any game the rest of the year.
Yeah, I would love to ask him more.
I don't know about that.
He said he will not be a great player this year. He's done for this year.
Well, I don't think that necessarily means that Arch Manning is going to be a bomb in every game. I think it means more games than not. What I took from that from Paul Finebaum is he's projecting how he's going to feel at the end of the year. So at the end of the regular season, just generally speaking, how are we going to feel about Arch Manning? Are we going to be like, wow, he's way better than how we felt at week 3?
Yeah. I look at this as a stock.
He might have a moment or two.
For sure.
I would say that Arch Manning's stock is completely plummeted.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
It has.
Somewhat.
Yeah.
I would buy it now.
Okay.
I would.
I like this play. I
don't think he's going to be a bust, which is the way he kind of was going down that road.
See, this is how I always felt about Jimmy Garoppolo, is that everyone talked about him like he was awesome, and then when he wasn't awesome, everyone talked about him like he sucked, and I'm like, you're wrong both times.
That's right.
Like, he wasn't awesome,
him.
And then he wasn't terrible. Like, you didn't need to draft a quarterback 3rd overall. Like, Jimmy G wasn't that bad. And so now Arch is kind of in that point where preseason, everyone's acting like he's the greatest thing ever, and now it's like, he's done. It's like, well, I'm with you, AR.
It's an overcorrection.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
There's a middle ground. We can find it.
He started off as the Heisman favorite. Right now.
Yeah, where is he?
How is Carson Beck?
Carson Beck and John Mateer, Oklahoma's quarterback at plus 800, are your leaders in the clubhouse. Tied for second is Dante Moore and Gunnar Stockton at 12-1. And then after that, there's a two-way tie with Joey Aguilar and Garrett Nussmeier. And then you get to the Buckeyes when Jeremiah Smith and Julian Sayin at 16-1.
Sayin is 16-1 now?
He is.
He's
tied with Jeremiah Smith.
Okay.
Yeah, over at Bet365.
Interesting stuff there. All right, when we come back, I'll give you that stat, Maddie, about a certain NFL team, and we'll decide whether we buy into that or not. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The only workplace in America to participate in the Doorknob Fart Game. And we also play office basketball and sometimes do radio. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with a team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsrus.com. 380-225-2284. Babs R Us, where dreams soak in.
Hi, I'm Dr. John Runyon from Runyon Dental Group. Are you missing teeth or do you have uncomfortable dentures? Dental implants can not only transform your smile, they can restore your confidence and allow you to eat those foods you love that you've been missing. When I was in my early 30s, I was in a similar situation needing complex dental work and dental implants. I understand all the emotions that you're feeling because I've been the patient and I know that we can help you. Schedule a free consultation today at runyondentalgroup.com. That's runyondentalgroup.com.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
From sold-out stadiums under Friday night lights to more than 100,000 screaming fans on the banks of the Olentangy, America's football capital is right here in OHIO. But the greatest players and coaches of all time live in Canton at the Pro Football Hall of Fame. It doesn't matter if you spend your Sundays yelling "Hoo Day" or barking like a dog from your seats in the pound. A trip to the Pro Football Hall of Fame should be on every fan's bucket list. Plan your trip at ProFootballHof.com. The Pro Football Hall of Fame. Ignite the passion, relive the glory.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do you do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Friday night can only mean one thing. The Capital Ford High School Football Game of the Week.
This week, Delaware at Westerville North.
Live coverage starts at 6:30 with a kick at 7. Your home of Friday Night Lights. The Fan.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
At the Ohio Lottery, we make Keno fun. Your way. That means every few minutes across Ohio, 20 out of 80 possible numbers are randomly picked. And if some of the numbers you picked match, voila, you're a winner. Keno doesn't require you to know a single thing about sports ball or overs, unders, pluses, minuses, or lines, or whatever else. Keno is as simple as, did some of my numbers match? They did? Great. You just raked in some dough. There are more than 20 hours of Keno draws every day and thousands of places to play statewide. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Hey guys, it's D. Miller. Synergetics and Low T Center are the original MVPs of testosterone replacement therapy. They provide you with the most medically driven, results-focused, and winning approach to restoring the quality of patients' lives through hormone care. If you notice that you're getting older, more tired, not motivated to do anything, it's not just aging. It's a physical and mental change to your body. Testosterone can help. Real patients tell us every day that they got their energy back and doing better than ever. It all starts with a quick test at the center. The on-site labs make it easy to get results in about 20 minutes. If you want at-home treatment, they'll educate you on everything you need to know to treat yourself at home. For a limited time, visit any Synergetics or Low T Center for a free hormone consultation and automatically enter for a chance to win either autographed sports memorabilia or maybe a pair of tickets to a major sporting event in town. Restore your energy like a pro with Synergetics and Low T Center. Book your appointment now at trtmvp.com. That's trtmvp.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another summer day ahead with mostly sunny skies, light winds, and afternoon highs getting in the mid to upper 80s. A little bit cooler tonight with mostly clear skies overnight and our lows down into the 50s. But for Wednesday, we remain dry and sunny with our highs getting in the mid to upper 80s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 weather impact forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Always as tender as a well-done steak. This is Rothman and Ice.
All right, the stat. Since the playoffs expanded in 2020, NFL, teams that start 0-2 qualify for the postseason what percentage of the time?
I'm going to say 25% of the time.
Good guess. It's lower. 12. 5 of 41.
Okay.
Now, and only 2 Super Bowl champs in the last 25 years opened with consecutive losses.
Who are those teams? You have
the 0-1 Pats and the 0-7 Giants.
Okay.
So a long time ago.
Yeah.
Kansas City's done what? They played in 3 straight now?
They have, I believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In the last 3?
2 for sure.
I think it's 3.
I think it is 3. I think it is 3. Since we're going down this path real quick, Aaron, let me just highlight all the 0-2 teams in the league.
Please do.
Miami Dolphins.
We don't have to worry about them.
Cleveland Browns.
Don't have to worry about them.
Tennessee Titans.
No.
Chiefs, as you mentioned.
Yes.
The New York Giants are 0-2.
No.
The Chicago Bears.
No.
And the final 0-2 team is the Carolina Panthers.
That's right. There's only one.
Yep.
There's only one, and they played in the Super Bowl 3 straight years. They cannot, I repeat, cannot run the football. They can't.
No. It's
you know what their running backs have combined for? In the week 1 loss to the Chargers and then against the Eagles? Now, 2 good teams.
Yeah. You're asking yards per carry right now?
No. Combined yards.
I'm going to say because I know Pat right now is their leading rusher.
He is in both games.
Yes. I'm going to guess between Kareem Hunt and Isaiah Pacheco, they've combined for...
You want to do both games?
Sure.
Chargers and Eagles?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm going to say they've combined for 70 yards.
Actually, you'll be impressed. 112.
Okay, so it's better than what I thought, but that's still tough, and they are just putting Pat in harm's way. But he's probably telling Andy Reid, "I don't care. I don't care. We got to generate offense somehow, some way. It's a dicey game to play." But that was a big question mark for them coming in. Was one, what is the rookie Josh Simmons look like at left tackle? But is Isaiah Pacheco ever going to get back to his old form? And it just doesn't look like that's in the cards right now.
The other problem they have is they're not really protecting him. The right side is pretty awful. He was hit 8 times in the opener, 10 times on Sunday. Now, he is pretty good when he gets out of the pocket because he's physical. And he's now going to see how they rise up. You had mentioned the Bears in one of those. The difference between them and the Bears is the Bears have lost 2 straight games in their division to start the year. There are no stats to support that. Them making the
crawling
playoffs.
Out of that hole.
To make the playoffs at 0-2 in your own division to start the year. They get the Cowboys at home, at the Raiders, and then I don't know how long Jaden Daniels will be out. He's your fantasy quarterback. Yeah, you probably have an insight on that.
It's tough, man. Come on, Jaden. Get right. Get right, Jaden. I need you.
And then they get the Saints. The
problem for the Bears, though, AR, is when you slide over to that NFC West right now and you see 3 squads at 2-0, being the Cardinals, Niners, and Rams, and then the team in the basement's 1-1. It's the other part. The
chairs are getting few.
When you get out of the North and you look at the picture in the NFC right now, and it is early, but still, that NFC West is not helping them out either.
The other thing that was, it was kind of cool that it happened is that the Lions aren't going to disappear. People had them disappearing because Green Bay's good. And maybe we were surprised on how good Green Bay was when they played them. Their first game without Ben Johnson calling the plays in 3 years didn't go well. And also didn't go well because they were playing the Packers on the road.
And that defensive line for the Packers is just, they're sick, man. They're absolutely sick. And up front, we talked about it all season. Even outside of losing Ben Johnson, when you lose a guy like Frank Ragnow, your starting center, that's a big deal. And they got pushed around physically up front. But then you have them settle in for a week with the talent that they have. Those guys know what they're doing. And Dan Campbell knows what he's doing. And so when you still have up top the head coach quarterback combination to kind of calm things down, and then you dig a little deeper with the Amon-Ra and the Jamison Williams, you're going to have opportunities to do what they did and put 50 on the Bears' head.
So this is cool because they did not look good against a very good team in Green Bay. They did look good against a team at home in the Dome, against a team that may be suspect. And now Monday night,
here we go.
They go to Baltimore.
So we'll find out a little bit more about it.
So now we get to find out whether the Lions are more of what we saw against the Bears or more of what we saw against the Packers, because they're going against your boys on Monday night.
Right. And so, I wouldn't bet against them. And when things settle in, especially on the coaching side of things, and those guys really know what they're doing week in and week out, they've got the dudes to get it done. I mean, I just want to shine a light on what's happening over in Indy, because I don't know how long this is going to last. And history would tell us that usually when we have the body of work that we have with guys at that position that are just kind of okay to bad, that it's going to fall apart sooner rather than later. But the Colts are putting it together, man. They really are. I mean, we're talking about a team that ranks second in the league in total yards per game. They're third in the league in rushing yards per game. And they're number one in this league right now in turnovers, the Indianapolis. So you're just talking about a complete unit right now. They haven't even punted yet in 2 games, and they become the first team in league history to score on its first 10 drives to open a season. So just everything is clicking for them. And also credit to the former Bengal defensive coordinator, Lou Anarumo. Like, he's gone over there and he's provided some structure for them on defense. And I know that was a big question mark as to what Lou Anarumo are they going to get, because the first couple years in Cincinnati, it was awesome. Seemed like that dude was on his way to becoming a head coach, and then it faded away on the back end of that. And so the Colts they're a fun story right now. I don't know, AR, how much I believe that this is going to be who they are every single week, but 2-0 is 2-0, and the numbers ain't lying. And so Shane Steichen has something going on with Daniel Jones, and let's talk in maybe 4 or 5 weeks to see if this level of play is going to be the real Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I could argue that they shouldn't have won that game. But I can't really argue that they haven't been more competitive than people thought they would be.
For sure.
Especially with him. I was just quickly looking at the percentage right now on Bet365 of the Chiefs to make the playoffs and whether we would buy that or not.
This is like Cincinnati from last year. Remember we were doing this? Like, cause you can't help yourself when a team's showing you that they can make deep runs, or in Kansas City Chiefs case, win it all. Like, until they're completely dead, there's never gonna be, I think, a whole bunch of people that are gonna dig in and say that.
Their schedule is tough, though.
Especially going into the bye. Like, yeah, absolutely. They got some big dogs coming with Baltimore, Detroit, and Buffalo.
So Vegas is not ready to quit them.
And they shouldn't be. You don't quit them until they lose to the Giants on Sunday.
To make the playoffs, they're minus 185, so that would imply 65% that they're going to make the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's not overwhelming, but it's not on the wrong side.
No. You lose to they mess around and lose to the Giants in prime time, which I don't think they will, and they have to turn the page to look to Baltimore the next week. Then it's like,
That's right.
Then you may be able to bring out the shovel. But if they can just balance this thing out and get to around 500 and drop Rashee Rice into this mix,
well, we asked this question
they'll
yesterday.
find their groove.
Would you rather be them or Cincy?
I'd rather be the Chiefs all day and tomorrow.
Oh, you'd rather be 0-2 with Mahomes than 2-0 with Browning?
I would, just because of the most important position with the best quarterback in the league and probably the best head coach in the league.
And their 0-2 is different than others' 0-2. Their 0-2 is actually close.
Correct.
It's not like they're getting hammered.
Right.
They went toe-to-toe with the Eagles.
I like that you brought that up, too, Eric, because the last time we saw them play against the Eagles, they got curb stomped in the Super Bowl, and they were scratching and clawing. And if Kelsey doesn't drop that ball, then that may be a different story. So you lose
bad timing on that. He just didn't get his head swiveled.
I
know, but he does have to catch it, but it's such a short, quick ball is thrown before he turns, and it just got on him in a bad spot.
But that's too.
I get it.
I'm just like, for Travis Kelce, that's
he
too.
caught a great pass earlier in the game on a shoe top.
I know, but that one was critical, though, because it turned into points the other way in time for Philly.
Oh, that would give him the lead.
Yeah, it's just for Travis Kelce right now. He's got two big boo-boos on his resume right now. The Xavier Worthy injury and then that drop at home. That's tough.
All right, speaking of getting out the shovel, the Browns host the Packers this week. We'll talk to our man Tyvis Powell in 2 minutes. Rothman and Ice on the Fan.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Tri-State Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right. So we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Breaking Down the Browns with Tyvis Powell.
All right, he's the baller from Bedford, our guy, Tyvis Powell. T-Bone and Tyvis in the morning here on The Fan. All right, my brother, how are we feeling today?
Well, the sun came up. That's the best part about everything. You know, as you talking about how I feel about the Cleveland Browns, well, I'm starting to sour.
Before we get to, will you sweeten or will you stay sour? You think you'll sweeten at all ever this season?
No.
Okay.
I mean, you know what? Once they put the young guys in there and I see something then, maybe that will get me optimistic again.
Hey, what was your take on the story that Shedeur Sanders, and he sidestepped the question on the report that he didn't want Maddie's Ravens to draft him, presumably because he didn't want to sit behind an MVP. He wanted to probably get to a place where he would think he could make an impact faster. Do you believe the story, number one? And if you do, are you on his side with it?
Do I believe the story? Sure. I don't see what the problem with that at all. And I agree with it wholeheartedly because of the simple fact that that's what he was used to doing. You think about Jackson State, you think about Colorado, he was used to going to places where that wasn't good, and he became the man and helped them become good. And the Cleveland Browns was the exact same situation. So I ain't got no problem with it. I'm mad that Adam Scheffler sent that story out right before kickoff just to get some clicks. This is why I'm not a media member, because of stuff like this.
Well, technically, you are. Now you are.
I'm not.
Now you are. A media member. Hey, I want to ask you this, because, look, the end result, scoreboard-wise, you see 41-17, and obviously that's some nasty work on the Browns side of things. But, I mean, you watched the game. Going into halftime, that defense was fighting, T. Like, just were some guys on defense outside of, obviously, Myles Garrett being a Hall of Fame talent, but just defensive guys that popped off the screen for you before it got out of hand. Who were some of those guys for you?
Actually, I thought Devin Bush was having a really good game, which, you know, he's a guy that not a lot of people talk about. I thought he had a nice little sack on Lamar Jackson in that on that game. I thought G. Newell was playing well. The only thing I was mad about was that Denzel went out the game with the cramps and, like, never came back. Like, you know, usually somebody get cramps, you go get an IV or something like that, and you come back. Like, he, like, never came back to the game. So that was alarming to me.
All right, so you're ready to move on, though? Like you said, I heard you say you want to put the young guys in. I mean, Flacco does give you the best floor. It gives you a chance. So you're ready to move on right now?
I would give Flacco one more game. I think that's fair to give him one more game because he had one good game, one bad game. I figured if you give him one more game, you could find out what the situation is. But with Joe Flacco, like he falls off a cliff, and I think that we might be getting there. We might be at the place where he might be falling off the cliff.
Would it be fair to even put Gabriel in against the Packers right now? Or is there no such thing as fairness in pro football?
You know what? There is no such thing as fairness. The thing is, I was under the mindset of, you know, you don't want to put a young guy in there that's not ready, right? And I think that's where the Browns are trying to be. Like, if he's not ready to go in there, we don't want to put him in there. But this is the thing. If Joe Flacco get hurt, he got to go in there anyway. So if he wasn't ready, you should have never made him your backup quarterback. So I felt like at this point, I mean, what he's got? If you make the change to him, you got 15 games to see what you got there to evaluate him and Shedeur. I feel like you need that sample size. It's hard to evaluate a quarterback after only a handful of games and try to figure out if this guy's the franchise guy. So I feel like you need to make the change. Go ahead. It ain't like we going to the playoffs or anything like that. What does it hurt?
Yeah, I hear you on that. This was our first look at all three running backs being available in a real game. You know, Dylan Sampson, Jerome Ford, and Quinshon Judkins. What did you think of the usage of those three guys?
Well, I was shocked that Q got as many carries as he did. I was in the mindset that he was going to get, like, just a couple plays. This man had the most carries on the team, and he looked really good. He did his thing out there. So I was happy with him. I'm pretty sure, they're happy with him. And as long as he continues to get his legs up under him, then he will probably be a really good running back in this league.
All right, give me your take on the Browns front versus the Packers offense this week. What do you anticipate?
That's going to be a good one because right now the Browns front is like the talk of the town. That's all people talk about. They blame pretty much everything on the fact that they weren't good these past couple of games. And when you think about Jeff Hafley, which shout out to Haf, that was my DB coach in San Fran, so secretly, that's my boy. I got to root for my guy. But I think that they're going to have to come up with a really good game plan. They're going to have to really figure out a way to, slow Micah Parsons down and the rest of those guys because it's not just Micah. Like, Micah is like he's like the thing, though. This like the stones. He's like the final stone on the glove. The rest of those guys have been really good as well. There's going to be some protection somewhere. They're going to have to have them tight ends stay up in there because I really don't trust too many guys on the one-on-one side.
You talking about those old Infinity Stones Thanos was dropping in there. That's what he has going on. Yeah, it's tough. Like, we knew this was going to be a bit of an uphill climb, but, when it comes to Dylan, if he does become the starter in time, how much of the offense do you think will change to RI?
For Dylan Gabriel?
Yeah, if he is the guy.
I think that it's a lot of time. Right now, our offense isn't explosive, which is why I don't see why there's nothing exciting about it right now. You're hoping that this run game finally catch, but for the most part, there's nothing exciting about it. So you might as well put the young guy in there because it's not like y'all put Joe Flacco is supposed to be this guy that pushes the ball down the field. He ain't pushed the ball down the field yet. So what's the difference between him and the young guy? You might as well see what they got there.
Yeah, listen, I'm all about, if there's nothing to lose, but we go back to the beginning of the year and you do want to help guys succeed the best they can. I mean, he's probably ready yes, go ahead.
AR, listen, if he goes out there and fall on his face, and that's it. Like, it ruins his confidence. He wasn't the guy ever anyways. That's the way I kind of look at that. If he don't have what it takes to bounce back after a bad game, then he wasn't your franchise guy no way.
Okay. I can buy that a little bit. The Browns have a way of draining confidence out of their quarterbacks, but they have a way of doing that, although there is one former Brown that seems to be having a pretty good second and third act, and that's Baker Mayfield.
He's on his what, fourth act? This is fourth act.
Yep, Browns, Carolina, Rams, Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
You don't get a lot of chances in this league like that, so good for him.
Yeah, it's that draft capital, too. I think you buy into some of that, right, hoping that he can figure it out. And in time, he has. Hey, real quick before we let you go, we were tapping into some of Matt Patricia's press conference today, and, man, he just seems like he's locked in and loving what he's seeing on defense. Just talk about Saturday and what you thought about what the Bobcats or what the Buckeyes were able to do to the Bobcats on defense.
I mean, they causing so much confusion. They making offensive lines and quarterbacks think so much. And if you ever talk to any good football player, if you thinking on the field, that means you're slow. That's not what you want to do. And they're doing an amazing job of making these guys have to think, which is slowing them down. And then the only issue I had was the slot fade that Lorenzo Styles gave up. It's not the fact that he gave up the slot fade, because that is one of the toughest routes to cover when you're in that nickel position, because they drop that fade. There's so much room to fade away that quarterback does a good job of dropping that dime. It was the tackling afterwards that really bothered me the most. Thank you.
Oh. Well, would you just get served there? Were you having some lunch?
No, I'm on my way to lunch.
Oh, okay.
I'm in downtown Cleveland. I'm by Harry Buffalo. I'm right outside the Rocket Arena.
Okay. You see Donovan Mitchell, anybody rolling around? Cavs getting in some work, anybody?
Yeah, I'm telling you right now, I'm not looking for Donovan Mitchell. I'm looking for his fiance. Not to say nothing. I just want to see what she looked like in real life.
Oh, Coco Jones?
Your little Coco Jones.
I'm not mad at it. I see the vision, see.
I always said, the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice.
Talk about it. Oh, man.
Let me give you something.
It's just that simple.
It is.
I guess so. All right, my man. Be well. Enjoy the day. We'll talk to you soon.
I'll see y'all later. Go Bucks and always forever go Browns. And go Tribe. I mean, no. Did I call them that? The Go Guardians.
There you go. Guards, baby. Still alive a little bit. And the Red. Show some love to the Reds, too. We hanging in there.
You don't believe that. You guys are unbelievable.
See you, T. Oh, man.
Yeah, the Reds were gone, cooked, over. They're both in it. 2 back, 3 back. Guards 3 back, Reds 2 back.
Mm-hmm.
We will come back with a Buckeye Bulletin. And do not call it a bye week, Maddie. We'll tell you what to call it next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Tweet from a listener. Are you carrying the Buckeye game today? Considering we've never not carried one, yes. The answer is yes. The Fan.
He's at the 10, the 5, touchdown! This is what the Buckeyes train so hard for.
Just like Valvoline Instant Oil Change, their techs train like pros to deliver expert service every time.
Wait, are we talking about football or oil changes?
Both. Whether it's the Buckeyes on the field or your car in the bay, it's all about preparation and precision.
Can't argue with that.
Valvoline Instant Oil Change is a proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics. Visit VIOC.com/Buckeyes today.
Get Eco.
Hey, Aaron. Hey, Jerry. You know, as much as I enjoy being a professional inventor, a few of my dream inventions still elude me.
Oh, yeah? Like what?
Well, the bruiseless avocado.
Ooh.
The unlosable TV remote.
Could change the world.
And for you, Aaron, the uncloggable drain.
Get Eco.
Until you crack it, Jerry. You know our 93 are free drain clearing offer is the next best thing.
Okay. Explain yourself.
Get Eco.
Our drain team will clear your drain for just $93. If we can't clear it, it's free. And we guarantee it'll stay clear for at least a year, or we will clear it again for free.
Get Eco.
We'll even send our little robot camera down there to make sure you don't have a larger problem that could cause more trouble in the future.
Get Eco.
You think your guys could bring that robot over to my place and help me find that TV remote?
I think that's impossible even for us.
Get Eco.
Eco, plumbers, electricians, and HVAC technicians.
GetEco.com.
Bet365 is paying out before the final whistle. Check out Bet365's unrivaled early payout offer. When you bet on a team to win and they take a 17-point lead, you get paid no matter the final score.
Forget the final whistle and start counting that cash. Hold up, you get early payout on parlays too. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. And app only.
At Kroger Pharmacy, we make it easy to get flu, COVID, and RSV vaccines. They're available at no cost to you with most insurance plans. No appointment needed. And we're open weekdays, weeknights, and weekends. So come and visit us when it's most convenient for you. Kroger Health, a world of care is in store. Vaccines subject to availability. No cost to you with most insurance plans. Check with your plan for eligibility. Restrictions and exclusions may apply. See site for details.
Hi, I'm Rick Germain for Toyota West. And with over 600 new and pre-owned vehicles available, Toyota West at I-270 and Georgesville Road has the car you're looking for. And right now at Toyota West, take advantage of 0 down and 0 payments until 2026. And every pre-owned vehicle comes with a 72-hour exchange policy plus a 3-month warranty for qualified vehicles. Come see us at the Germain Auto Mall on Georgesville Road or get started today at ToyotaWest.com. Offer expires 9/30. No payments for deferred payment. Interest accrues at time of inception with approved credit.
The Fan has a new tailgate destination. Join us before every home game at the O Patio and Bob on Lane.
Sponsored by your Central Ohio Toyota dealers. Jameson Whiskey didn't go to college. And Coors Light.
See you Saturday, friends.
Tailgate season is here, and if your grill makes you have to duck when you light it, it's time for an upgrade. Billiards Plus carries top-of-the-line grills that you can pass down to your kids and gifts the whole family will enjoy. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin. I need a small order of sheet metal to repair something in the shop. It's not much, but can you help me out?
At Metal Supermarkets, no order is too small.
Wait, really?
Yep.
What about small home projects?
Yep.
For a car I'm working on?
Yep.
Any kind of metal?
Yep.
Cut to size?
Yep.
With no minimum order?
Yep.
How about 1,000 cut pieces of aluminum flat bar?
Yep. Choose from over 8,000 types, shapes, and grades of metal in any quantity you need. And yes, we're serious. Any metal, any size, ready fast. Locally owned on Wilson Road.
Great Lakes Hyundai, the savings are so good.
Now at Great Lakes Hyundai, save on new 2025 Sonatas with 0% financing for 60 months. 0% while supplies last. Columbus or Dublin or GLakesHyundai.com.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Rothman and Ice present Buckeye Bulletin.
Sponsored by Logan AC and Heat Services. Don't go through another air conditioner breakdown. For fast, friendly service, call the experts at Logan Services now for a free estimate and next day air installation.
All right, Buckeye Bulletin time. All right, we know there's no game on Saturday. They get a chance to work some things out. And I know we have a new system in here, so I'm going to try to play this soundbite.
Yeah, test drive this thing.
See if I can do this.
I'm here as a
I'm going to see if
backup.
I can do it. See what we got. It's now like 8 steps to play a soundbite instead of like the one, like click and then play. This is Ryan Day on the round table. When it's referred to as a bye week, it's not for them.
Yeah, we really kind of call it an improvement week like we did last year, which means, it was only 3 weeks into the season. So now August was a physical month for us, so we are going to catch our breath a little bit, but we got to improve in all different areas, individually, and then in all 3 phases. We'll certainly be working on some situations, getting ready for the noise in Washington on offense, and making sure that, we're getting ahead of these opponents so that we can, again, put our players in the best position to be successful, because the first goal was beat Texas, and then we started, playing some of our depth. We're starting to gain an identity in all 3 phases, but as we take a look at what we've done here in these first 3 games, we have to identify what we've done well and project out where we think we need to go. And so those are all the decisions we're making this week.
Boom, like a pro, Rothman.
Yeah. You crushed today, AR. There you go. Hey, you mentioned AR
right-clicked
having to go on the road, right, for this Washington matchup, and how they're going to be practicing, I'm sure, with more noise and all that. Like you're comfy at home, obviously, right? And so now it's going to be interesting to see how Julian and the offense handles that, and how much of the pre-snap penalties they can avoid, the delay of games and the false starts and all of that, because last year when they went on the road to Oregon for the first time, there was a lot of penalties in the game. It wasn't a clean game for Ohio State, and that was with obviously a veteran unit and a veteran quarterback. And so Julian's going to have to work through that, as is everybody else, especially on that offensive line. So the communication is going to be absolutely massive. But this is another one of those points for all of us on the outside looking in to learn a little bit more about Julian, not just the physical stuff, but also the mental part of the game and how you handle that.
Washington was looked at before the season as kind of a tough out. Not that anybody thought that they were going to be highly ranked or anything like that, but that they had pretty good pieces offensively, and they could go toe-to-toe with a lot of teams offensively. Now, they haven't been tested because they played Colorado State and UC Davis.
Mm-hmm.
So now they go to Washington State, and the Cougs have just lost to North Texas 59-10.
Really?
Yeah, so I have no idea what they're going to put up, rivalry or not.
Right.
So the good thing for Ohio State is they have been tested, and Washington really hasn't. Now, they all have an opportunity, certainly, to win this game and go to, what would they be? They'd be 3-0.
They'd be 3-0, yep.
And play against Ohio State at home. Here's Ryan Day, his thoughts on that, even though it is a couple weeks away.
Well, they didn't play last week, so this will be their third game.
Right.
So, yeah, they got a chance to see us play this week, and, we'll do that. We only have 2 games from the season to work with, but, it's more about us than it is them this week, and then we'll get a chance to see how they do on Saturday and go from there.
Coach Matt Patricia today talked a little bit about Damon Williams, and this guy, he's talented, and he comped him to Kyler Murray, and I can see that. And he talked about his, that first step being really quick, and Damon Williams is 5'11", 190. So in stature, it is pretty similar to what Kyler Murray was able to do. Kyler's always been really, really quick, and you look at Damon right now, and dude's averaging 6 yards a carry. And so, look, he can keep drives alive and plays alive more so than other quarterbacks that don't have that skill set. So he's a quarterback that's confident right now, and so you're just going to have to...
Sophomore?
I believe so, yeah. I believe he is a sophomore, and so I'm sure that they're going to be hammering that home. But when you're talking about 2 weeks to prepare for a quarterback like this, this is what you want if you're Matt Patricia, to dig in even more on the tape and hopefully confuse Damon Williams the way he's confused some of these quarterbacks early on.
They were so bad on their offensive line last year, Washington. So now they have weapons. Now they have Jonah Coleman, who's a great running back, and Denzel Boston, who people love, and the quarterback you just mentioned, and Damon Williams Jr., and we'll see if that offensive line can hold up against this defense of Ohio State.
Yeah, because to your point, AR, game number 1 against Colorado State, he was sacked 3 times.
Yeah.
He was not sacked against UC Davis, but we just watched this game against OU over at the Shoe. And, it was Caden Curry. It was, I think 3 to 4 guys in that game that got home and got to the quarterback, which is a great sign to see, right? Early on is that guys are not just getting around the quarterback and applying pressure, but they are getting the quarterback down to the ground and moving the chains, the other way for the offense. So that'll be key as well in that game coming up next week.
Let me back up that statement that Washington was one of the worst offensive lines in the country last year. They were the second worst graded mark in the Power 4 amongst Pro Football Focus. They also ranked second to last in the Power 4 in pass blocking.
Okay.
And 106th in run blocking. They lost 3 starters from that group.
Mm-hmm.
And none of their incoming transfers had a great grade last year. So they probably at this point have no clue what they're going to see in Ohio State.
Right.
There's just no way for them to be able to simulate it.
No question. And with the looks that Patricia can throw at you with pieces like Caleb Downs and what Arvell Reese is doing right now. I mean, Arvell Reese is just every week, I'm like, this dude is nasty, man. Like, he is out there playing at a very high level, and a lot of people are taking note to what Arvell Reese is doing. I saw Todd McShay put out a piece, and it was behind a paywall, but I saw the headline, and it said it's only September, but McShay is already starting to get calls from scouts about the 2026 NFL draft, and one of the prospects that was on the graphic was Arvell Reese. And so he's buzzing, in that realm of college football in the NFL. And then you got Field Yates throwing out a tweet a couple of days ago saying that Arvell Reese might be this draft's Jalen Walker, right? And so this guy is putting some people on notice and really just creating a whole bunch of just havoc for opposing offenses week in and week out right now.
Here's Coach Day on that defensive line play against the Bobcats.
Yeah, and that's what we're looking for. We want guys to be really disruptive and allow Sonny and Arvell to really, open up and run sideline to sideline. But to your point, I think K-Mac in particular was really knocking back the line of scrimmage. I thought Caden Curry and KJ were setting the edge well. And then, we started getting to the quarterback and, we flushed him out a couple times and had Arvell spying. And so, one of the things that, as you guys know, it's important is, the coverage and the rush have to work together. And so, if the quarterback has to go to a second or third read, by then, the rush is getting home. And so there's execution that comes with the patterns. But when we can knock the line of scrimmage back like we did and get them off schedule, that's the idea.
I think you said that perfectly. It just helps everything. It rushes the play, progressions, the whole thing. I mean, everybody knows the key is pressure. You don't have to necessarily get the quarterback on the ground. Sometimes it's better when the quarterback is throwing under duress. It just leads to better things for the defense.
Yeah. I mean, you go back and you watch that Caden Curry sack he had on Saturday. That was just straight bully ball. Like, he just ran right through the offensive lineman. And so it's credit to Caden Curry for stepping up, because this offseason, he watched Coach Day and Coach Johnson bring in Bo Atkinson and some other guys via the portal, and he stepped up and took advantage of his opportunities, and it looks like they're starting to develop some depth. And we've known since Coach Johnson got here, like, you want to roll bodies, right, to keep that D-line fresh. That way late in games they can continue to hunt when it's money time.
All right, that's today's Buckeye Bulletin. We'll come back top of the hour, third hour on the way. We'll deep dive. Has the comeback Maddie finally haunted them? Do you know who I'm talking about? Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
If you haven't thought about Buckeye football today, I'm sorry to tell you that you're dead. Our condolences. Your home of the Buckeyes, the Fan.
At Baths R Us, we believe home improvement is life improvement, and that starts with the team who brings your vision to life. Our installers aren't just skilled, they're experts.
This is who we are. This is what we do all day, every day.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement, or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel. Plus, low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate, or go to bathsrus.com, 380-225-2284. Baths R Us, where dreams soak in.
Sounding an alarm.
Did any of this have to happen?
No.
All new tonight, ABC 6 News continues to investigate the city's mandate to replace thousands of water meters in Columbus homes.
Nobody said that they could come and flood my house.
Raising questions about who is doing the work.
You don't think constituents should be upset about this?
The hiring practices that are causing even more safety concerns.
Do you think our coverage exposed a lot about this company?
I think it's a good thing.
Tonight at 6.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I have 3 kids. I have an IQ of 160. I work with the cops.
You're a cop?
No, they do sign my paychecks.
Caitlin Olsen returns in High Potential, the #1 drama.
She was abducted. You knew that already, didn't you?
Yeah, I thought it'd be nice to let you have this one.
And one of the best new crime procedurals.
You're waiting on me to leave so you can poke around without a warrant, aren't you?
Yeah. High Potential. Tonight at 10 on ABC 6.
Update and beautify your home with Sherwin-Williams pre-finished siding from Menards. LP SmartSide siding is durable and comes ready to install. Available in 13 timeless colors, it's machine applied for a professional look and coverage. That means no painting and no hassle for years to come. Save big money on all Sherwin-Williams pre-finished siding now at Menards. Plus, view our weekly flyer for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
They're trained. They're fired up.
Let's do it.
When you need heat, they can't be beat. They're Ohio State's undefeated heating and cooling team. For plumbing, drain, heating, and cooling, there's only one team. The Waterworks. Better care, better value, better results. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222 or visit them online at thewaterworks.com. A proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Common Man here for Hollywood Casino and the ESPN Bet Sportsbook. Timmy, it's football season. That means winning and fun.
Oh, yeah. We have tailgate buffets for all of our watch parties. The 3 apps for $12 special. $25 Miller Lite buckets.
And don't forget the crab legs. That's extended through September.
So reserve a table at HollywoodColumbus.com.
And how about this for new members? Sign up for the rewards program on the Penn Play app. Get a $20 dining credit.
And you get more crab legs.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, crab legs.
Crab leg problem? Call 1-800-CRAB. crab legs.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part? They accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic, made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Hey, Columbus, it's T-Bone for Window Nation. Now is the best time of year to buy new windows. Whether you have old, drafty windows or maybe just the cheap builder's grade ones your house came with, September is the perfect month to protect your home against another cold, snowy winter. And right now, Window Nation is offering their most popular offer. Buy 2 replacement windows, get 2 for free. Plus, you won't pay any interest, monthly payments, or down payment for 2 years. You heard that right. Window Nation gives you the option to pay nothing until 2027. Are you a Buckeye fan? Well, when you replace all the windows in your home, Window Nation will also give you 2 free tickets to an upcoming Ohio State football game. With Window Nation, you get top quality windows from a trusted company, and it's all at a reasonable price because they know replacing windows is an investment, and they want to make it affordable for you. Don't miss Window Nation's most popular offer. Right now, buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. And remember, you'll pay nothing for 2 years. Hurry, Columbus, this sale won't last forever. 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com to get your free quote.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus.
Good afternoon, I'm Tyler Danberg. Baseball tonight, Guardians at the Tigers at 6:40. Cleveland has won 4 straight and is 3 games out of an AL wildcard spot. Reds visit the Cardinals at 7:45. Cincinnati's 2 games out of an NL wildcard spot as well. Clippers welcome Omaha at 6:15 from Huntington Park. Phillies clinched the NL East Monday, the first team to clinch a division this year. Brewers are the lone other team to punch their ticket to the playoffs. NFL injury updates. Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels questionable with a knee injury. Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy out 2 to 4 weeks with an ankle sprain. Steelers edge Alex Highsmith out this Sunday with an ankle sprain. And Chargers linebacker Khalil Mack to undergo tests for an elbow injury. This update is sponsored by Whiskey War by High Bank Distillery. Drink local, drink High Bank. Breaking sports news when it happens right here on The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
Most shows just skim the surface, but Rothman and Ice feel like the biggest story of the day deserves a closer look. It's time for a deeper dive.
Sponsored by Low T Center. Low T Center, reinventing men's healthcare.
Hour number 3, Rothman and Ice. Austin Ward, 2:30. We'll talk Buckeyes with him. Maddie, they made a move. Wasn't the move you wanted them to make. The Bengals are stacking backups. Joe Burrow, IR watch, maybe the rest of the season. And they signed Brett Rippon. It's a Viking cast-off after Max Brosmer outplayed him in the preseason. He's on the practice squad. And then they signed Mike White and Sean Clifford to the practice squad. Wow. Okay. Pour one out for Whiskey Paul, who has Sean Clifford's jersey because apparently he's buddied up with Clifford's wife at the games.
Wait, what? Run that by me again? He bought a Sean Clifford jersey because he's cool with Sean Clifford's wife?
I think Sean Clifford's wife, I think he met her at a game.
And now they're just homies?
I don't know. He's got a picture with her.
Oh.
I don't know the whole story, but it's pretty awesome.
Whiskey Paul, a.k.a. Mr. Steal Your Girl.
No. He's not doing that.
Whiskey Paul up there.
No, he's supporting you got to support the team.
Oh, man. Okay, that is definitely a random jersey to have as a Packers fan. That is for sure.
It's his wife. He's got a nice Sean Clifford white Packers number 6, and now
is he a Penn State fan too?
No,
why would he buy Sean Clifford
because
jersey?
apparently he met his wife.
Yeah, I'm not under. I love
I'll let
Whiskey
him
Paul.
explain
I'd love
it to
for
you.
him to.
I'm
to
probably
break
explaining it
down
wrong
to me.
Yeah, Clifford was a nice little player at Penn State every now and then, right?
Yeah, the key in that is every now and then.
Well, he had a couple of Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week awards. You got to hang those up.
He was never a guy.
You got a plaque for that, Matty?
I don't think he was a guy anybody was really scared of week in and week out. When I hear you mention those names that Cincinnati brought in, my mind goes to the Batman Joker scene. Like, we're having tryouts. We're having tryouts to see who's the guy. Only one of you guys are going to make it out of this room. Like that to me.
Yeah, it's practice squad.
Yeah, and just hopefully, if it gets to that point, it's already looking pretty bleak. If you got to go to one of those guys, and you're officially cooked. You're officially cooked.
They got to wait just a little bit to find out how bad Sergeant Hulka with the big toe is. They got to find out what's going on with Burrow's toe.
Well, we know for sure right now it is a minimum of 3 months. Minimum of 3 months. And so, yeah, I think you get to a point in time and you look at your team record and realize how realistic is it if he comes back? Do we have a chance to get to the postseason? And that's why these first 2 weeks were so big. With or without Joe Burrow, we were talking about how big the Browns and the Jaguars games were for them because of the teams that are coming up, starting with Minnesota this week. And I know Minnesota this week, it looks a little bit easier for them. But, hey, now you're talking about a game with a backup quarterback against a very talented defensive coordinator and Brian Flores.
Still Carson Wentz. I mean.
No, I guess I'm just saying it from Jake Browning's perspective. While, yes,
true.
You're dealing with Carson Wentz playing quarterback for the Vikings. You got to deal with, I think, a very, very good defensive mind that can probably frustrate a lot of starters and definitely a backup. And we saw Jake Browning throw out, some goodie bags, a few of them, to the Jags on Sunday when he came in.
Baker Mayfield. Game-winning drive. 4th and 10. Playground. Scrambling. Head over spikes. Delivering in the end. It's one of those that has a wild ride of, did he come back to haunt you? Did you go for the big pot of gold with Deshaun Watson? Did you lean into that there's a split in the locker room, Team Odell and Team Baker, and they had to move on? And now I'm leaving a little room for that Baker Mayfield is not the same player today as he was before. He did get injured in Cleveland. That affected him. He admitted that. Whether he's telling the truth or not, I have to buy it. That shoulder injury affected him mentally as well as physically. He said it. I don't know if that was to cover for his QBR just tumbling or whether or not it really did affect him. I'm leaning in that it did. It certainly helped. It certainly affected him physically.
Yeah, it was just throwing shoulder.
So the struggles on the field, then that messy split with Odell, I think that divided the team. And then out of the blue, you got Deshaun Watson willing to waive his no-trade clause to come to Cleveland. And Mayfield then says, well, that's a slight to me. We had talked. I thought we were continuing to move forward. I thought they picked up his 5th year. And so they traded for Watson, a guy that had 25 lawsuits against him, allegedly. Sexual assault and other stuff. And Baker goes to Carolina. But they let him go too. Right? I mean, it's not like it's not like the next team he went to, it was like
it didn't click right away.
And
then he goes out to LA, and clearly there wasn't going to be a whole bunch of room for him to start games with Stafford out there, but he is completely 180 this thing. And you watch the guy not only last night, but even before we go back, there was a belief late in the game that he was going to get it done and march down the field and do what needs to be done. I think he's earned that type of confidence, not only from us as viewers, but also his teammates too. And I saw Bucky Irving after the game. He was on with Emmanuel Acho and LaShawn McCoy and whatever they're doing now. And he said, quote, he's the type of quarterback I'll take in a dark alley with me because I know he's going to come out shooting. They believe in that locker room that Baker is the truth. And so you have the game that we watched last night, and he was getting beat up last night, grabbing at his knee, a couple times in there. I think he got rolled up a little bit on a sack, and then on one rollout, he grabbed his leg again, and got up. He's talking trash to C.J. Gardner-Johnson. So that's the type of leader they have. In the last 2 years, he's led them into the postseason. And sure, you got to bring up the division they play in. It has not been a tough division at all. But it's just a bounce-back story of a guy that had all the hype and the pressure in the world on him coming out of Oklahoma to save a franchise up in Cleveland.
That's right.
And for certain players, it just takes time. And for him, it's just taking a little bit of time, and now he's putting it all together.
I'm really glad you said that last part, because 7 years ago, when they were looking for a quarterback, and they were desperate, so desperate, and they hadn't had a franchise quarterback since probably Bernie, like a franchise guy. And then he gets them to their first playoff victory in 20-some-odd years, and everything is kind of messy around him. I feel like there's part of this story that has nuance to it, that he has matured, that he is a smarter quarterback. Why wouldn't he be? Because he's been in the league longer. And maybe the most important thing I can say, he's got a pretty loaded team.
There you go.
He's got great weapons.
Yep.
And when you put good talent around a guy that can play the way he can, who's a baller, who's got the mindset for it, who's tough, may not be the most, high-ceiling generational type guy, but he's got enough. And so you give him a brand-new rookie quarterback in Emeka Ibuka. You give him, by the way, the backfield between Irving and Rashad White. The runs they were making in traffic last night, I'm telling you, I guess if you're a Texans fan, you're probably thinking we can't tackle. But those guys were amazing last night.
They got threats everywhere, to your point, and they don't even have their best offensive lineman yet in Tristan Wirfs. And, I can't remember if it was Aikman or Buck on the call last night, but one of them brought up the fact that there's been 2 offensive coordinators that have left Tampa over the last couple of years and been head coaches. That doesn't happen without Baker Mayfield. Like, you have to have a guy that can showcase what you do as a play caller at the highest level, and Baker has been able to do that. So it was the perfect storm. It was never a lack of talent for Baker Mayfield. It was just early on, just cleaning up some mistakes that a lot of young quarterbacks make. And then the structure around Baker, whether it was the coaching stuff, whether it was the talent stuff around him, wasn't good enough to overcome where he was at the time. And now you can look back if you're Baker and learn from all those things. And now you're a veteran quarterback. Then, it's exactly what you mentioned, too. It's his skill set with elite guys around him, and that's why Tampa's offense is one of the biggest threats in the sport.
So let's play this out for a minute. He gets an injury. I think it was his non-throwing shoulder against the Texans. I'll have to check that. Either way, he had an injury. I think he's playing injured. There's a little divide. You've got a diva wide receiver. You've got by the way, he had 4 different head coaches in 3 years.
That doesn't help anybody.
So, I mean, how frustrating is that? Then I believe he starts growing more frustrated with Stefanski. Like, not protecting, not doing they're putting a rookie, who is the rookie, Maddie, against, they were playing against Pittsburgh. It was TJ Watt. I don't know, it was James Hudson or somebody. And I remember Mayfield saying in the postgame, after he was throwing a lot of incomplete passes, that we got to help out our guy. We got to help out my guy over here when it came to pressuring.
Which isn't the best thing to say.
Which is
publicly.
not a great thing to say.
That ain't great.
Because if you got a defensive player of the year in TJ Watt over there and you're not giving a rookie tackle help, then you're doing yourself a disservice. And I think he did. So to me, that started
just calling out your head coach like that isn't ideal.
That wasn't great.
Right.
And I think that was when Haslam, who's denied this, I don't know if it was Barry or Haslam, but Chris Mortensen reported that when they wanted to make a change, they wanted, quote, an adult in the room. Remember that?
Yeah.
Remember that when he threw that out there?
Good jab.
And he felt really disrespected, Mayfield did, when he thought that they were going to move forward, that they were going to keep going down that path with him. And then they secretly flew out to Houston, all of them, to sign Watson. And then Mayfield's like, see you, Cleveland.
Yeah,
before they even signed Watson.
And to be fair, we don't know all the inner workings of why Jimmy Haslam felt confident enough to say that on record, right? There had to be some things behind the scenes.
He denied it.
Okay, but there just had to be some things behind the scenes where maybe Baker was ruffling some feathers, right? I don't want to make it seem like he was just the perfect Boy Scout.
No, that's what I'm saying.
From start to finish up
he
there.
got more mature.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
It says here they picked up his fifth-year option. Boy, even after the playoff win. And then Mayfield said here that they cut off talks with my camp. He knew he wasn't their long-term guy. And then Andrew Berry repeatedly declined to comment on Mayfield's contract status. So it was the beginning of the end.
Mm-hmm.
And then they find out that Dee and Jimmy and Andrew are all going to Houston. And that's when he threw out the letter. Thanks, Cleveland. It's been fun.
It's a wrap.
Yeah,
it's a wrap. And so, look, this has been a good story, right? And I'm sure for some Browns fans, you don't love this, and I understand that because of how desperate the franchise has been for a guy like this, right? If Baker was just this guy, you would take this all day and tomorrow instead of just searching high and low for everything or over the years the way that they've been doing. But for Baker now, big picture is, okay, you guys have been a cute story the last couple of years. What level now can you go to as a team, right? Within the NFC, can you knock off Jalen Hurts? Can you knock off Stafford and Goff and those type of guys? Because now they're viewed, I think, through a different lens, and now it's time for him to really rise up even more, maybe do some more damage when it matters most.
I think you got to give him one thing, really, outside of the talent and what he's doing, what he did last night, is that he wasn't willing to just say, "Oh well, I don't think I'm good enough." That it's going to take too much around me. No one's going to build around. Like, he kept pushing. He kept showing. Like, for a team to wrap those guys around him and find a way. Like, this is a pretty good, as we were talking to Tyvis about, a second, third, fourth act, whatever it is for him.
Yeah.
It's pretty damn good.
And he got lucky. Yeah. It's very rare.
That's right.
That an opportunity opens around the NFL to be a starter with a good team and a good offense that's ready to go. Tom Brady's retirement opened that door for him, and the timing was everything for him.
Since the Bucs, first in the NFL in touchdowns, he is. Second in the NFL in yards, and a regular season record of 21-15.
Just figured it out.
You can win with that. Yep. All right. Well, speaking of Tom Brady, everyone is freaking out about what he's wearing. I'll tell you that next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
We're the highest rated sports radio station in America. There's no joke there. We just are. The Fan, Ohio's sports destination.
What's better than cheering the Buckeyes on to victory? Wearing our exclusive collection of OSU jewelry as you watch. Hi, this is Alex Johnson from the Diamond Cellar. We're an officially licensed jeweler of The Ohio State University, and we've created beautiful Buckeye jewelry that will last a lifetime. From Blocko earrings to Diamond Script Ohio necklaces, we've got luxury Buckeye gifts starting at $99. No matter where you're watching, show your Buckeye love at the Diamond Cellar, proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Imagine what it would feel like getting tackled head-on by a 240-pound linebacker. You'd be in serious pain, right? But if you're unbuckled in a car crash, at just 50 miles an hour, you become a deadly projectile that can slam into other passengers with 8 times that amount of force. Don't let someone else take the hit. Buckle up and visit buckleup.ohio.gov to learn more. Brought to you by ODOT and ODPS.
Hey, what's up? It's T-Bone. My good friends over at Sleep Better Columbus want you to know that if you're 65 or older, enjoying those golden years, but maybe you're dealing with restless nights, you need to listen up. Are you tossing and turning, struggling with sleep apnea, and that leaves you wiped out during the day? Well, it's time to reclaim your rest with Dr. Mark Levy at Sleep Better Columbus. As a leading provider in non-surgical sleep apnea treatments, Dr. Levy helps you breathe easier and sleep deeper with custom oral appliances, a comfortable alternative to CPAP. The best part is that Sleep Better Columbus is in network with most medical insurance plans and is a proud Medicare provider, so your coverage can work seamlessly with Sleep Better Columbus. And as we head toward the end of the year, don't let those benefits go unused. You don't want to wait to use your deductible. Act now to make the most of it with Sleep Better Columbus. Call Sleep Better Columbus today at 800-MORE-SLEEP or visit sleepbettercolumbus.com. Once again, that number, 800-MORE-SLEEP or sleepbettercolumbus.com for your consultation. Sleep better, live better. You've earned it.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
The water's standing in the tub. My toilets will not flush. The smell's getting bad in here. I need help in a rush.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee.
It's 93 or free. Guaranteed.
Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
At Kroger, you never compromise. You get high quality and low prices. Like you never compromise your meal with our spring salad mix that's guaranteed fresh. And you never compromise your budget with lower prices on over 1,000 items. Hand it to Kroger shoppers. You never compromise. Kroger. Fresh for everyone.
Save big on 18-count cartons of large grade A Kroger brand eggs. They're just $2.99 each with your digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
It's Thursday Night Football on The Fan. Catch the Dolphins and Bills live from Buffalo. Fan coverage starts Thursday at 8.
Sponsored by Roosters, a fun casual joint.
Your radio home of the NFL, The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
The Ohio Lottery's new $5 scratch-off Win Big has a top prize of $100,000. And with the Ohio Lottery app, all non-winning tickets can be entered into a My Lotto Rewards second chance promotion to win Cleveland or Cincinnati football tickets or even a trip to football's biggest game. And that's more exhilarating than a cooler of sports drink dumped on you. So exhilarating. Win big from the Ohio Lottery. A celebration waiting to happen. Lottery players are subject to Ohio laws and commission regulations. Play responsibly.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Another summer day ahead with mostly sunny skies, light winds, and afternoon highs getting in the mid to upper 80s. A little bit cooler tonight with mostly clear skies overnight and our lows down into the 50s. But for Wednesday, we remain dry and sunny with our highs getting in the mid to upper 80s. For The Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with the 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Bet365, the official online sports book of Rothman and Ice. Whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Rothman and Ice present Free Snap Leads.
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF. That's 614-NEW-ROOF. Or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
All right, Ice, little Bet365
Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it because right now, if you are a new customer over at Bet365, they have a great deal waiting just for you where you can bet $5 and you're going to get $200 in bonus bets, win or lose. So you could turn that $200 into something bigger when you bet on money lines, spreads, totals, player props, a whole bunch of goodies waiting for you at Bet365. So download the app today and check out the early payout offer for both the NFL and college football. You get an instant payout if the team you bet on goes up by 17 points, even if they lose. So don't miss out on this stuff. Get on over to Bet365 right now.
All right. Did fine on football last night. Going back to baseball.
Okay.
I think the Yankees bounce back tonight. I'm going to take the Yanks. They're playing at the Twins. And I'm going to parlay that with their pitcher.
Say it. Say his name for us.
Say it carefully.
Yeah, just say it.
Cam Schlittler.
There you go.
Schlitz Malt Liquor. I'm going for him to go 5 1/3 or more. So I need 15 and a half outs.
It's been pretty good for him.
So Yanks and Cam at over 15 and a half, and that gets me to plus money.
Okay. I'm going to do something, AR, I think you're going to like. I think you're going to like this here because Thursday Night Football is Bills-Dolphins. I'm going to go with a Devon Achane touchdown on this one at plus 125. Don't love the game script for the Dolphins, but I just think if it does get ugly early on, get some of those catches later on in the game, I just think he's going to find his way into the end zone. So give me a Devon Achane touchdown at plus 125 at Bet365. Download the app and see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. If you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Terms and conditions apply. In app only.
A hope and a prayer.
And may the odds be ever in your favor.
All right. Back during the 2024 season, Tom Brady was banned from participating in the following things. He was not permitted in another team's facility. Okay. He's not allowed to watch any team practices. He can't attend broadcast production meetings, either in person or virtually. Couldn't talk bad about the game officials or other teams. He obviously couldn't gamble on the NFL.
The ref was odd to me.
Publicly criticizing as an owner. As a part owner. Right.
Okay.
And he was also obviously under the NFL's gambling policy. And he was under the NFL's anti-tampering policy. This year, they lifted it where he could attend production meetings with Fox. And so he was up in the booth last night, and it kind of raised some flags, red flags. I don't know. To me, it seemed a little over the top on what everyone is upset about. When he had a headset on in the booth, was with the coaches.
Yeah.
Now as obviously a broadcaster as well. Did it strike you funny?
No.
I mean, they've relaxed a lot of the broadcast restrictions that they initially put on him, all the ones that I said.
It really didn't bother me at all, AR. I swear I saw the new owner for the Colts, one of the Irsay daughters, I believe. She was on now she wasn't in the booth, but she was on the sideline, and she had an earpiece in. And
she's not a broadcaster.
No, I'm just saying, from an owner side, she was listening to, I'm assuming, the play calls coming in and all that. There's clearly an extra layer to this with Brady, as you mentioned, being a broadcaster. But yeah, I'm good. Like, I don't really care too much. And I saw this floating around today. Now the NFL had to put out a statement, and from an NFL spokesman, it says there are no policies that prohibit an owner from sitting in the coach's booth or wearing a headset during a game. So the NFL's come out and said that. So people are going to go down the road of, well, he's a broadcaster. He's going to be taking, secrets to his team and all that.
He gets access to other teams, players, and coaches that other owners do not have. That's all I'm saying. It may not be anything. I'm just saying that make the playing field level. If he's getting access to other teams' players and coaches to talk to them about production and broadcast, now it is up to maybe those guys not to tell them stuff they don't want to know. But my point is that other owners do not have that. That's the definition of conflict of interest.
So what's the solution here?
That he shouldn't be on a headset.
I'm a little confused here. So are you digging in more on he shouldn't do the talking to the coaches, or are you saying he shouldn't have a headset during the games? Which one are you digging in on?
Mostly the games.
So you have an issue with what he was doing last night?
I think they should level the playing field. I just don't think, it just felt odd to me that he has access to talk to other teams and players and coaches so he can speak more intelligently on the broadcast of what they're trying to do, designing what they're doing.
Yeah, I guess I don't have an issue with the headset part of it, like him hearing Chip Kelly calling the plays to Geno Smith like during a game. That doesn't bother me at all. Like, I hear what you're saying about how there's some definite gray area.
You mean you can hear but not talk?
I'm assuming that's the case. Like, I don't think he's saying, "Hey, Chip, let's not run that play." I would hope that's not the case. Like, I don't think that's what is happening. But
yes, let's give Tom Brady the benefit of the doubt. The guy that's cheated his whole life.
Okay, look,
he's great, but I mean,
you're a little bit more.
What are you more concerned about being compromised? The broadcasts on Fox or the integrity of the game?
The integrity of the game.
Okay, well, I think, and Ice, let me know if you agree, a broadcaster having a headset on during the game I don't think that's really compromising the game.
You know where I would have an issue is if the team the Raiders were playing that week. If he talked to those coaches and players, and then we see him up in the booth, but he wouldn't be there because he's calling the game. So even then, like, to me, I don't know.
I saw something on Twitter about this, and I did not verify it, so I could be just incorrect. I think there's something about, like, Brady has a Bears game coming up, and then the Raiders will play the Bears. And so it's like he's going to be calling a Bears game, have some intel to then take to the Raiders, and that would be what would compromise the integrity of the game.
And like Chip Kelly told ESPN that he talks to Brady 2 or 3 times a week, going through film and the game plan for the week. Pete Carroll then was asked about it and said, that's not accurate.
So they're not even on the same page.
Bear's like, we talk. He goes, I talk to Tom. Chip talks to Tom. We have a tremendous asset, and we all get along and respect each other. We just talk about life and football.
He's lying. He's lying. I don't have an issue with Chip Kelly.
What PSI's the ball should be.
I don't have an issue with Chip Kelly and Tom Brady talking throughout the week. Like, you should be picking Tom.
It's almost
Brady's
impossible not to, right?
Like, I don't. There's no
pick
foul
one,
there.
Tom.
There's no foul.
Be a broadcaster or be an owner.
Well, and he ain't leaving that Fox
both.
money on the table. That's for sure.
He's probably better at being an owner.
Probably.
Maybe so. All right, anyway, that's it.
It was odd seeing him there, but I think Tom just loves football so much, he probably just wants to hear how the games work, and I don't think, I don't think he's
invested, certainly.
Financially, there's no doubt, no doubt.
All right. At least he wasn't like on some extension cord, like down the hallway, just kind of like this, and someone caught him. Like, at least he was in plain view.
He's just not hiding.
Oh, no, he was there, but he was in a suit and tie, and everyone else is in, like, team-issued gear, and he really kind of looked out of place.
All right, we'll come back in 2 minutes. Austin Ward on those Buckeyes in improvement week. What are the priorities? Find out next. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
The Waterworks techs have heard it all. Screeching furnaces, dripping pipes, strangled garbage disposals, overflowing toilets. Did a spooky surprise catch you off guard? Who are you going to call?
No, not them. Call the Waterworks at 614-232-2222. We provide better care, better value, better results, and we'll take on any drain or heating and cooling nightmare to come your way. Happy Hallow Waterworks.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
Oh, could this vintage store be any cuter?
Right? And the best part, they accept Discover.
Accept Discover? In a little place like this? I don't think so, Jennifer.
Oh, yeah, huh? Discover's accepted where I like to shop. Come on, baby, get with the times.
Right, so we shouldn't get the parachute pants?
These are making a comeback. I think.
Discover is accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. Based on the February 2025 Nielsen report.
Hi, I'm Maria, salon owner. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injections 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Rothman and Ice is sponsored by your local Pella Window and Door showroom on Gemini Parkway. The Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Let's do a little day tripping.
Sponsored by Atlas Butler Plumbing. Call us today at 1-800-FURNACE for all your plumbing and drain service needs. Yes, 1-800-FURNACE works for plumbing, too.
All right, a little day tripping with our guy, Austin Ward, beat reporter, Letterman Row, here at The Fan, of course, 10 TV. And he's with us on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Austin, good to have you, my man.
Great to be here. How you guys doing?
Outstanding. Fun atmosphere on Saturday night. I felt like, the in-state opponent, and yes, you had to pay for him to do it, but they put up a fight. I didn't think that once Parker Navarro went out off of Bo's hit, I thought OU would look at it as, hey, we got a long season. This isn't about, the realistic part about trying to beat Ohio State, but maybe since they were in the game at half, they felt a lot better. Hey, the hand's okay. Let's go get it. When he left the game, I thought, all right, they're going to think big picture here and hold him out, but they didn't.
No, and then they came out and threw a punch there and bloodied Ohio State's lip a little bit there in the third quarter. So full credit. I mean, that's 2 weeks in a row, Anthony, where we talked last week about Grambling showing up and not just collecting the check and going home and rolling over during the game. They fought the whole way through, and certainly Ohio did the same as well. And maybe that's should be expected for a program that won a MAC championship a year ago and looks like they'll be a contender again. But I think it is worth pointing out because we've certainly seen a lot of other non-conference games where the Buckeyes have paid up for an opponent to come in, and those things are important for funding athletic departments around the country. I get all that, but that they know they don't have a real fighter's chance of winning a game, and they just decide to run that clock as much as possible. But the Bobcats, they played their butts off, and I think that will be meaningful for Ohio State because they can take those reps and evaluate them in this improvement week, this off week, as they turn the page to get ready for Big Ten play and know that it actually counted for something.
Let's go over to the defensive side of the ball, talk about this defensive line unit right now, because I thought it was pretty cool to see. I think it was, 3 to 4 guys get home and register a sack in the game. And so just talk about some of the work you're seeing down there in Larry Johnson's crew and how those guys are jumping off the screen for you right now.
Yeah, I think Caden McDonald, I know I told you guys and Maddie, we talked about it, I think, during camp on Rothman and Ice together, that Caden McDonald was going to be one of these guys that you needed to circle, that the leap was going to come and it was going to be really fun to watch. The things that, he can do, and it's understandable when you sometimes have to bide your time, and Tyleek and Ty a year ago were so good, but it's not like Caden McDonald was sitting around doing nothing. And when he got opportunities a year ago, I thought that they were impressive, and it was setting the stage for what I think has been one of the more eye-opening performances from anybody from this first 3 weeks. Certainly on that defensive line, I think it's tough to imagine what this group might look like without him playing at the level that he is. And then you see Caden Curry, where, we've talked for going on 3 years. Anytime he got on the field, it seemed like he was making plays, and you knew that you were not going to get shortchanged with the effort and motor that he plays with. And now you're seeing some creativity with Larry Johnson and Matt Patricia coming up with some different ways to utilize that personnel. Different fronts, moving Caden Curry to line up over the nose and beating a double team from a guard and center, not something that I really anticipated Caden Curry doing a lot of in his career, but just immediately explodes off the ball, gets in there for a sack from that different look. So you're seeing creativity, you're seeing some of the athleticism exploited from some of these guys. There's still, I think, room to grow. Ryan Day said that Tywone Malone, who was I think, pretty surprising starter at the 3-tech spot on Saturday night against Ohio in place of Edric Houston, that he graded out as a champion. So that's an encouraging sign after spending 8 months here talking about the depth of the defensive tackles and that defensive line, that they're starting to elevate all of that. So I think Saturday night goes down as another step in the right direction for those rushmen, and they need that because there's a pretty big test waiting for them at Washington with Damon Williams and some mobility there at quarterback, that Matt Patricia was already talking about that he reminds them of Kyler Murray. So Ohio State needs those guys up front to be at their best, and Big Ten play is here. That time is now.
Austin, let's the pecking order in the running back room was certainly understandable before the season. The stats go as this: C.J. Donaldson, 33 carries; James Peoples, 25 carries; Bo Jackson, 18 carries. The difference is only one of those guys is averaging 12 yards a tote, and that would be Bo Jackson. You got a big game coming up in a couple weeks. This bye week, this improvement week, is he featured more in practice? Is this just talk? Is this more like, yes, he's great, we'll get him in there? How do you think the coaches truly feel about it behind the scenes?
Yeah, I think that I've adopted this sort of philosophy that there are no accidents when Ryan Day is talking into a live microphone. And even yet again today, when he talked about Bo Jackson, he continued to reference the ball security, and if he can control the football and not fumble, then he's going to get more work. That was I think that made sense to people to hear that a week ago because that happened in a game. But the thing that you and I talked about last week, Anthony, was that he said, well, you've got to, if he's seeing that in a game, then it's happening in practice. So Ryan Day did make that point again today, but I feel like maybe now, at least for me personally, and probably you guys as well, what you've seen from the level of explosiveness and what happened on that first carry of the third quarter against Ohio on Saturday night simply can't be ignored. Now, practice habits and ball security, that's not something that you can mess around with if you're Ohio State. So I think that was emphasized going into Tuesday practice and Wednesday practice, and then the carries and the opportunities were handed out to him accordingly on Saturday, and he made the most of them. The ball security was perfect in that game. That has to continue if you want to see that workload ramp up, because the other thing we talked about last week was if there was a running back controversy, if there was such a thing, and I thought that it was a good point that you guys raised, but I don't think that you can operate in a world moving forward throughout the Big Ten schedule where all three guys are getting carries. Maybe they can. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but you and I have both talked to enough running backs over the course of our career where they stress that you've got to get enough carries. You've got to get to the rhythm of the game. It's different once you get to your 10th and 11th and 12th carry from the first and second, from what you see and you're feeling from those defenses out there. So, I think that they're going to have to get to a point personally that whether that's C.J. Donaldson and Bo Jackson, whether that's James Peoples and Bo Jackson, whether that's C.J. Donaldson and James Peoples, I don't know. But I feel like the emphasis coming out of this week will be who are the two that you can count on the most throughout Big Ten play, because and the ceiling for Bo Jackson, I think we can all agree, looks to be the highest. So what does that look like, and how does he continue to attack these practices and the two next week, the two key ones, Tuesday and Wednesday, before they head out to Washington?
Yeah, no doubt. And I'm sure you're seeing it too, A-Dub. You got a couple of these guys, too, that are doing a good job protecting Julian, too, like in pass pro. Like, these guys they're not messing around, man, and those guys have helped out on a couple touchdowns as well, right, buying some extra time. Hey, real quick, I just wanted to mention this. Like, I found myself when these games are kicking off, like, yeah, I'm excited to see the fireworks with Jeremiah and Carnell, but my mind keeps going to A-Dub, like, these tight ends, man, there's something going on to where they've got some good stuff brewing in that tight end room, and these guys are just helping out week in and week out.
Yeah, it's like we've gone back in time, Maddie. 12 personnel, 13 personnel. I thought it was a good mix on Saturday night. You had, I think, 18 targets combined for Jeremiah and Carnell, and then you're supplementing that. Even with Bennett Christian hurt, you still have Will Kazmarek and Max Clare getting involved. We've seen Jelani Thurman throughout these first three games have some opportunities. Nate Roberts, which I guess the fullback is now a thing as well. We're going even further back to the 60s and 70s, and the spread is no longer the prominent, preeminent part of Ohio State's offense. It's fun to watch them, and I know that I kind of scoffed a little bit when the tight ends talked in training camp. Hey, we think we're the strongest unit on this team. It's like, well, the secondary is good, and Jeremiah and Carnell and Brandon Ennis are over there for wide receivers. Like, maybe tap the brakes a little bit, but they have the self-confidence is one thing, but they've also gone out and proved it. This is the best tight end group in America, and I think people are starting to take notice of that outside of Columbus.
Yeah, no doubt. Well done, my man. They've got depth for days, and we'll continue to watch it with you, bud. Thanks for being available as always, and we'll talk to you soon.
Of course. Appreciate it, guys. See ya.
Thanks. That is Austin Ward, our friend from Letterman Row, and here at the Fan and 10 TV on the Bryan Heating Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. All right, we're going to come back and wrap it up with Tell the Truth. Rothman and Ice and the Fan.
Winners of the prestigious Platinum Microphone Award every year, given to the best radio station in the world. No need to look it up. It's real. The Fan.
Another summer has ended, and you may have noticed that your energy is lower, your workouts aren't as productive, perhaps you aren't sleeping as well and feel foggy all the time, maybe even your sex drive is off. This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, and if you're experiencing some or all of these symptoms, it's likely you have low testosterone. And if that's what's going on with you, don't wait. You need to call us at Tri-State Men's Health and get treated for your low T. Because living with low testosterone is no way to live. With our low T treatments, if you're like most guys, your life will change considerably. Improved sleep, better energy, greater gains in the gym, better mental clarity, and your sex drive will likely improve as well. Plus, most men see these results in just a few weeks. So call us. Your initial visit is just $99 and includes PSA and T-test and a medical consult. And if you start on testosterone the day of your appointment, your visit is free. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com. We have 6 offices in the tri-state area to serve you.
The season may be winding down, but there's still time to make the most of Buckeye Lake. At Buckeye Lake Marina, we have year-end deals on boats, accessories, and more to get you ready for next year's adventures. Looking to upgrade? The Buckeye Lake Marina staff is there to help you find the perfect boat at unbeatable prices. Buckeye Lake Marina has a long list of satisfied customers and want you to be the next. Don't wait. Sail into savings at Buckeye Lake Marina before the year ends and find the boat that's just right for you. Visit BuckeyeLakeMarina.com for more.
5 words no one wants to hear? You need a new roof. What do? Who do you call? How are you going to pay for it? Hey, it's Timmy Hall, and these are all questions that run through people's minds when they hear those 5 words. But if you pick up the phone and call Victor's Home Solutions, your new roof will be the easiest, most hassle-free home improvement project you'll ever do. Victor's has thousands of 5-star ratings for both customer service and high-quality installation. Plus, they offer a 50-year leak-free guarantee on every roof they install. And since no one wants to pay these high interest rates for a limited time, Victor's is offering 5-year, no-interest financing with minimum monthly payments for qualified buyers. So if you need a new roof, don't stress. Victor's Home Solutions has your back. It starts with a free 21-point roof inspection. It assesses the exact condition of your roof and what needs to be done next. Set up your inspection today. 866-VICTORS. That's 866-VICTORS or online at victors.com.
Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
My toilet's clogged, backed up too. The sink is running slow. Water's backed up everywhere. Oh, please don't overflow.
Clogged drain, no problem. It's 93 or free. I'll clear any drain or you don't pay with a 1-year guarantee. It's 93 or free. Guaranteed. Call 614-683-9911. Call the folks at Buckeye, night or day.
Remember when sports used to be about calling up your favorite host and saying how stupid they are? Good news. We still do that. The Fan Call-In Show.
Hello.
Sponsored by ESPN Bet at Hollywood Casino.
Sunday mornings at 8 on The Fan.
Sounding an alarm.
Did any of this have to happen?
No.
All new tonight, ABC 6 News continues to investigate the city's mandate to replace thousands of water meters in Columbus homes,
Nobody said that they could come and flood my house.
raising questions about who is doing the work,
You don't think constituents should be upset about this?
the hiring practices that are causing even more safety concerns.
Do you think our coverage exposed a lot about this company?
I think it's a good thing.
Tonight at 6.
Hi, I'm Morgan. I have 3 kids. I have an IQ of 160. I work with the cops.
You're a cop?
No, but they do sign my paychecks.
Caitlin Olsen returns in High Potential, the #1 drama.
She was abducted. You knew that already, didn't you?
Yeah, but I thought it'd be nice to let you have this one.
And one of the best new crime procedurals.
You're waiting on me to leave so you can poke around without a warrant, aren't you?
Yeah. High Potential. Tonight at 10 on ABC 6.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky's Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. Tell the truth with Rothman and Ice.
Sponsored by Window Nation. Buy 2 windows, get 2 for free. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com now.
TLC, tell the truth. Why did Molly Qerim leave ESPN's First Take? Supposedly was her decision.
I know why the internet thinks that they...
What are the rumors out there today?
Well, and this is not from any industry sources. This is just jokers on Twitter.
Okay.
I like those guys are the best. They know all.
The jokers on Twitter are saying that, well, Molly and Stephen A. were dating and they just broke up.
Come on, I'm not buying that. So she was married to Jalen Rose.
And she stuck around when they both worked there after the divorce.
She, if you believe her take, after much reflection, I've decided it's time to close this incredible chapter and step away from First Take.
Okay.
She doesn't, nothing more than that. But she did say now that the news came out earlier than I intended and not the way I had hoped. That means she had to say something. So the timing of it was a little off.
I saw Awful Announcing was saying, I think it was them, who said that she was planning to step down from ESPN at the end of the year.
Maybe after football or I don't know.
I assumed the end of the calendar year.
Here's your Stephen A. Stephen A. said when he was asked, like, why, or on his own pod, that story is for her to tell. Do I have an idea? Of course I do. Am I going to share it with you? No.
Okay, so he's respecting her time and space right now.
That's so condescending to the audience, by the way. Anyway.
Well, some things you're right in this regard. He wants everybody to know that he wasn't blindsided by it, that he is in the know, but it's someone else's private business, so I can't say. And I'll respect him for that, because I think that happens to us here on the show where we'll hear something or we'll know something, and yet, we don't want to just appear like we are every day, clueless. And we want to say, there's just certain things you can't say. But she's been with them for 20 years almost.
Okay. Yeah.
And hosted with them for 10 years.
When they were at their peak, right, with Skip and obviously Stephen A. and then Max. She's been there for everything. And so, it'll be interesting to see what she has to say and where she pops up in the media world.
Do you believe this quote? Stephen A. Smith says Molly Qerim leaving ESPN is, quote, worse than LeBron leaving Cleveland.
Come on, man.
Calling her his, quote, work wife.
Who reported that?
That's
who's saying. Where are you reading that? Man, see, it's Twitter.
It's NBA,
Twitter boys.
Jokers?
Hang on, it is Twitter. But it's also an NBA.
What's the handle?
Site.
Is
No,
it
it can't
NBA?
be.
Centel?
Centel or Central? Which
I
one
don't
is
know.
it?
It's probably Centel.
Watch out for Centel.
He's reading
What's that was
Ballsack
at?
Sports over there.
The Onion.
Babylon B.
Man.
Wait, what was that second one you mentioned?
Oh, I said Ballsack Sports.
All right.
There you go.
It's a real place.
All right, so
that was the OG Centel, and then Centel took the torch and went way further with it.
Okay, Barstool's headline is not reading Barstool's headline.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you can't do that to us.
I'm not doing it.
Now you got to at least
Stephen A. Smith.
Yeah, now
you're Stephen A. Smith.
I'll give you.
I know what the headline is, but I'm not going to read it.
It's not my headline. I'll give you. This is from a couple years ago.
Okay.
That Stephen A. Smith makes Molly Qerim visibly uncomfortable by saying certain things way too much.
That reminds me of another Twitter Joker comment where somebody said, this lawsuit's about to be generational.
Oh, God. Oh, no. I don't know.
But Maddie's right. She was reportedly expected to leave ESPN at the end of the year. So something happened that forced her to go now.
Yeah, they said, I want now. Okay.
That I'm done.
Just got to wait and see. Stephen A. was hosting First Take by himself today. So he was there. I'm surprised they didn't bring in anybody else. There's been other, men and women that have hosted that show. So that was a bit surprising. But maybe he just wanted to do that.
He said she was in contract negotiations and ESPN did want her back. Stephen A. said that.
Okay.
Did they want her back at her price?
That's the other question. Or in that role, or maybe they wanted her to do other things. I don't know.
Shefty's been reporting a lot over the last few days. Like, this person's getting an extension. This person's getting an extension. Malika Andrews just got one today. So ESPN right now is definitely in the business.
Oprah go there?
Of doing business. No, it seems that way.
You're getting an extension.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're getting one.
So, yeah, I thought she did a good job for what the job was over there at First Take. And she held her own and, kept Stephen A. in line as much as you can. And yeah, we'll see where she pops up next. Because I'm sure, Fox and all these people are well aware of her talent. So she probably won't be out of a job for too much longer. We'll see.
All right, what else you got? Sorry, I thought that was somewhat of a breaking news.
Well, would you believe me if I told you it was National IT Professional Day?
Yeah, because every day is something now. So, yeah, I'll buy that.
National IT.
It's National IT Day, especially at this radio station. It is 97.1 the IT. So let's do a quick check. Do I have this? There we go. Oh,
the gong lives.
It's a little soft.
It is a little quieter today.
Okay. Now this one,
they muffled your gong.
They muffled my gong.
Can be important.
I'm going to have to figure that out.
Stay safe out there.
We wanted this one to be muffled. The big word alert.
Better.
Yeah.
Appropriate, because the last time I think
you had it cranked.
I think I caused some car crashes.
The Purge was about to start.
Yeah.
With the one you played yesterday.
That was a little bit loud.
Yeah. Sorry, I like
one's
that.
all good.
Yeah.
And I put up a mock draft from Todd McShay from the preseason. So this is before college football started, before the NFL started.
Okay.
And there were a couple things that stood out. First of all, he had number one. He had Cade Klubnik going to the Browns. I don't think any of us support that at the moment. Number two, He did not have the Saints taking a quarterback with the second pick in the draft. Are you a Spencer Rattler truther? Because I saw, speaking of Twitter jokers, I saw some NFL Twitter jokers putting together some highlight tapes out there from the All-22 film against the 49ers. Spencer Rattler has some fans out there.
He does.
That's not going to happen. I mean, I'll say it this way. If Garrett Nussmeier starts to get something, it's just an auto fit.
His dad's there already.
LSU,
right?
The Saints.
His dad's on the staff, right? Am I making that up?
No, you're right. He's OC.
Yeah, and it's funny how, like, we always start with there's so many quarterbacks, especially this is going to be these guys are so great. And
we always start with 6.
3 weeks into the season, and 2 of them people are already, they're already good on. Yeah, I can't say that I'm a Spencer Rattler truther right now. He's holding it down. Can you guys help me out with what's up with Tyler Shuck? Was this an injury? Or he just got straight up beat out?
I think he got beat out.
Okay, that's just what it was.
I don't remember him being injured.
Okay, I don't remember.
He will start at some point.
Yeah, they got to see. They got to see before they go into next year's draft. But, yeah, Spencer Rattler, I think he can get you by for a few weeks, but I don't think this is any type of long-term, hey, he's our next Drew Brees down here. Like, I don't see that.
They have Fernando Mendoza going number 15 to my Pittsburgh Steelers. That feels weird.
He can up that draft status this week. You go out and play well against Illinois.
Yeah, night game.
Yeah, man.
In Bloomington.
Yeah.
Your roster is built to kind of be okay once Aaron leaves after a year. And you need to find a quick plug-and-play guy. Fernando Mendoza.
Okay.
Got that NFL release.
And at number 31 to the Eagles, tight end Max Clare. You know how I feel about that one.
How do you feel, real quick, in our last 30 seconds?
I think going to Ohio State actually damages his stock because it's going to significantly hamper his productivity long term, opposed to being the guy at Purdue.
I like the fit, though. In Philly, Dallas Goedert's back up there in age, I guess. And, yeah, you drop that in there with AJ and Devonta. I see the vision.
I don't know, dude. 6'5", 245. Yeah. I feel like
laying with the winning
they're
organization.
Already talking about him now, even though he's not. Like, we'll see. When he gets his opportunities, he'll have to make the most of it. But
he did last week. Hey, before we go, if you missed anything from our show, don't worry. You can always catch up wherever you get your podcast. All you got to do is type in Rothman and Ice. Everything we do from noon to 3, we'll be waiting there for you. Subscribe to the pod as well. Bet365 is the sponsor of the Rothman and Ice podcast. Common Man and Timmy coming up next.
Hit you tomorrow on a Wednesday. Rothman and Ice, thank you for listening right here on The Fan.
We test marketed naming the show A Guy and His Butlers.
Oh, that is very touching.
But we thought Bishop and Friends had a